All right. What's going on, everybody? Appreciate y'all stopping by for the best dang sports show going today. Locker Room Sports Show number 243. Glad y'all can come by and make us a small part of your day. College football talk and a little more is what we got today. We're going to be breaking down Alabama and the Georgia Bulldogs. We're going to talk about an Oklahoma podcaster says that the SEC ain't done spit.
They didn't say spit.
No.
It rhymes with it.
Also, SEC Media Days is also here.
That's always big. Fun, too.
Dan, what's going on today?
Oh, nothing much. Just got back in from Mississippi. So went to Elvis's home yesterday.
Mississippi?
Yeah. We went to Graceland. Went out there.
Oh, I thought you said we went to Memphis.
Well, it's just right there beside it.
So you went to Mississippi, then Memphis?
Yeah. Went into Memphis. Went to see Neil. Rode up to Graceland yesterday. Pretty neat.
Yeah.
Pretty neat. We saw where Martin Luther King Jr. died. That was interesting.
There was some kind of news where there was some trouble with this Elvis's estate, and Priscilla was going to have to maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't say nothing about it, but I'd heard something about that too. But it's not. I mean, he had everything. He didn't even have to leave his home. He had everything there.
The jungle room.
We saw that, the jungle room. I mean, it looked to me like a place where 30 and 40, 50 people can hang out all the time. And I heard they did.
Yeah, he had a group of people that he stayed around.
He didn't, and I know we're not on here to talk about Elvis, but he didn't seem to have I'd read before that he had a hectic life.
Yeah. There
wasn't too many days where he was at Graceland just hanging out by himself, chilling and watching TV and relaxing.
Yeah, they wouldn't want to relax him by the pool.
No. That's why he had all them rooms. I mean, he had a couch in there that would seat 16 people.
Wow.
Had a TV room. I mean, it was just entertaining all the time. She left, of course. I mean, I don't think she liked that lifestyle, which I'm sure he was.
His lifestyle was, he's the king, man.
Yeah.
Speaking about king, we're going to talk about the two kings of college football. We're watching here on the square box behind us.
Big game. We got a lot of money on there.
Georgia and Alabama. It's going to be an interesting season. I don't think it's going to turn out a lot like how some people assume that it's going to. And I'm not as high on some people as you think I am, and you'll find out more when you come back and when you come stay around here and hang out with us. First of all, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Longtime sponsor, Turkey Eye Clinic.
J.R. McKissick.
927-4030. And for podcast listeners also, you can find them on turkeyeyeclinic.net. And they also have a Facebook page. Go by there and check them out. All the new eyewear that you could ever need or want, from all the cool frames to he's redone the office and painted and fixed some stuff up. And these Nike frames I got, that's where I got them from over there with them.
A pretty good old fella, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, Scott Lloyd's Legal Service. I'd like to thank them for sponsoring us through during our summer spot. A lot of times we didn't have a big sponsors for the summer spots because it hadn't really. We've just grown so much over this year alone. It's gone crazy. But now we've had some sponsors to the summer, so we're going to start picking up some sponsors as the season gets started. So shout out to Lloyd Legal Service over there, Scott. And
he said he hadn't watched a lot. I talked to him the other day. He said he wasn't as into football as he once was with all the transfers and the NIL money. He just had not completely lost interest, but.
Yeah, some people have.
It's looking good for us here, man.
Give him a call at 256-266-1416. You can find him over at LloydLegalLLC.com. We just have one job, to protect our clients, and that's what they do.
Utah's beating Weber State.
Uh-oh. It's bad news.
I didn't realize Alabama was up 17-0 in the second quarter in this game.
This is the 2008 blackout game, Georgia.
Yeah.
I just flipped it on the Georgia and Alabama game since we're talking about them. John Parker Wilson, Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, good. Parker Wilson won this one. Dang it, Fresno beat UCLA.
I'll start out with this one.
All right.
Top 5 instant freshman impacts, Dean. Here's 5 players. Get your notebooks out, fans. Here's 5 players, not in any order, that will probably have a big impact on the game this year.
Right.
First one out is Colin Simmons, edge rusher from Texas.
So he's going to make an immediate impact.
I think so. Cam Coleman, wide receiver at Auburn.
Yeah, now I've heard
a lot of
everybody says he's going to.
He's a large, strong guy, got big hands. Ellis Robinson, cornerback, Georgia. Boo Carter, we talked about him. You broke him down a few weeks ago. Yeah, safety at Tennessee.
From Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boo Carter played just not far from here.
No, that's that. Maybe Cleveland, maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
Right, straight up 75.
And, of course, our receiver from down the road from south of here at Saraland, Ryan Williams, wide receiver at Alabama. And also maybe, too, I had to kind of throw this guy in, too, because he just committed. We'll do some recruiting news also here in a second. Caleb Cunningham, number 1 wide receiver in the state of Mississippi, 5-star, commits to Alabama.
Let me tell you, there's some athletes out of Mississippi, too.
Yeah.
They are. I mean, and a lot of them, I think everybody's like, well, why is Ole Miss and Mississippi State not better? Which Ole Miss is pretty good right now, but they don't go there. They go everywhere. They go to Texas, LSU, Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, and they go everywhere.
We'll go here to on the screen. Let me put it back over here like this so everybody can see. Okay. Right here on the screen, you got, let me turn it down a little bit. We got On3 Recruiting website here, Dean. We're going to talk about I'm just going to go through these and we'll click on some of them. This is as of today, number 1 recruiting class, Alabama Crimson Tide, Coach DeBoer, and Coach Shepard, wide receiver coach, is absolutely killing it. And Mr. Morgan that does all their media stuff, come from Washington with him. Obviously, he knows what he's doing.
Right.
I got 5 stars.
5. I'm sure that's tops in the nation. They're close.
Number 1 is a guy that committed today, Ty Haywood, number 1 offensive lineman. He's number 4 in the state. He's your first guy up here on the list, 5-star offensive lineman. The guy we talked about a while ago, Caleb Cunningham, number 1 right here in the state of Mississippi, 5-star kid. Dejon Lee.
That's a big one. Corner.
Played at the Macy and Viago, California, number 1 corner in the state of California.
It's a big state.
So if you're number 1 there, you'd probably be pretty good.
Yeah, that's not like being number 1. No offense, but that's not like being the number 1 corner in Delaware.
Arkansas.
Delaware. Maine, you know.
And y'all know Keelan Russell. He's also 5-star quarterback. Come out of Duncanville. Their tailback is at LSU.
Yes.
And they have a receiver, too, that's going somewhere, too. I forgot.
Yeah, Duncanville's loaded with athletes.
Also, on this Michael Carroll, he's a 5-star on 24/7. So they have 5 4-stars on 24/7 and 4 over here on 3. So that is the Tide's number 1 class. We'll go to Georgia. Put them up here on the old square box. Right now, Isaiah Gibson, edge rusher, 5-star kid, coming out of, guess where? Warner Robins, Georgia.
They've had a few good teams. Won a national championship in 76. I did not know that. Somebody told me that. Did you realize that?
No.
Warner Robins, national high school champion.
They're good, man. They're different. It's a whole different kind of football there.
Yeah, it's not even fair.
You know about Folkestone, Georgia?
I've heard. I think that's where Champ Bailey was from.
Camden County.
Okay. That's down in that area, yeah.
It's Elijah Williams. He's a tight end, 5-star guy for Georgia. Zayden Walker, big-time linebacker coming out of Shelly County, Schley. It's over in Ellaville, George.
I don't know nothing about them. How you spell it?
I remember bringing that up to you before.
Oh, yeah, we pronounce it. We're not pronouncing it right. Nobody that we know is pronouncing it right. It's pronounced very weird. We thought it was Shickley or Schley or
Shell County.
Yeah.
Is that the way they pronounce it?
I don't even think that's it. It's some way that you'd never imagine. You'd never imagine in 100 years. Coach Knapp knows. He's the one that told me.
Taylor, wide receiver, 4-star kid out of Geneva, Illinois.
Georgia. I won't find that out.
And LSU rounding out your top 5. Number 5 class. They have Bryce Underwood.
Hyundai Sonata versus Honda Accord. Look what Sonata has.
I can't get out of it. Stupid edge. You can't click
on it. Okay. I thought that was mine.
Bryce Underwood, 5-star. He is their quarterback. It's going to be at LSU. And then they also have a running back, this Harlan Berry kid that come out of California. Come out of Louisiana. Of course, you know, their hometown guys.
Oh, my gosh.
It's going to be good.
I read somewhere that Southern Louisiana, best in the country. St.
Martin's Episcopal School is where this running back's from. 5'10", 182. NIL value is already at $381,000. Dame, how about that? Ty Miller.
Okay, listen to this. You're going to love this, Matt. Pronunciation. Spell that again for us.
What was it? SCHLEY?
SCHLEY.
Yeah.
Sly. I knew it was something you'd never guess in a million years.
I wonder if it's, since we have all these English professors, there are a lot of, did you know the Oklahoma fans are English masters of English class?
Oklahoma.
They're a lot of their fans.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because they say all the names right. Because if you say one wrong, man, well, they'll dog you out. I figured that out.
They're going to get on you.
Yeah, they're going to let you know that you don't say Farquhar. I mean, I've never seen that name in my life.
Sly County? Is
it French or?
I don't know. I was calling it Schley. You called it Shell. I believe, and they're calling it Sly. I thought that's what Coach Knapp had told me. It was Sly County or Slay. So nobody's pronouncing it right. I'll put it like that. So there ain't no need in getting on anybody.
Texas A&M coming in here at number 9 class. They got the Longstreet quarterback kid come out of California. I like him. He's a good quarterback. I think he'll fit in fine out there with coach and his staff and what they want to do. You can see they got several 4-star recruits. We'll just run down through here some of the top 10. The SEC schools. Tennessee at 13. They got 9 4-stars. Missouri, they coming in with a 5-star.
Drinkwitz.
I think he's a quarterback. They got Matt Zollers. He's a kid from Rosserford, Pennsylvania.
So that's his second 5-star. Burden's the first one. You know, Burden was a big get for them. I mean, Luther Burden he could have gone anywhere.
They got a 5-star quarterback.
Wow.
So
of course Burden's going to be gone, but he'll be gone after this year.
Teams trending up. Missouri has trended up a little bit. They've kind of moved up in rankings. Tennessee has been steady about the same. Auburn just dropped after they dropped out of the top 10. They've just kind of been steady. Mm-hmm. Well, it's not their falling. Teams are just passing them. They only have They only got 16 players recruited right now. And of course, their 5-star is Cam Coleman, their wide receiver. But as here you can see, Eric Winters, he's a safety that's going to come in and play. He plays at Enterprise, Opelika, Alabama. Malik Autry. And then the Falk kid that played down here at Highland Home, I've talked about him last year.
Yeah, Highland Home's had some good teams.
And, of course, here's Alvin Henderson, A-Train. We talked about him for years. I tag him and stuff on Twitter, and I've seen him play.
3,500 yards.
He's a man.
Last year.
9,000 all-purpose yards his career.
In his career.
132 touchdowns.
So he'll probably finish with 12,000 or more.
Yeah.
How many touchdowns?
132.
That's a few.
So
that's a couple
here.
Not many.
That's kind of the top 20 rounds that with. Kentucky, they don't have any 5-stars right now. They are looking at an edge rusher, got a Works kid, and then a Davis kid running back coming out of Ohio. So, and stars don't mean everything, and it just don't. It's just not. Those things are important for high school and for coaches to get a base of kind of, well, this kid's a 4 or 5, so this is the way I was told on 3. They said that they're going to have 32 5-stars, which means there's 32 NFL teams. These are kids, they're 5-stars, that their projected eye, and of all their people that do this for a living, they believe this is a first-round pick player.
Right. That's why they say they're a 5-star.
Yes, that's all that means.
That does not mean they're going to be great, which I will say most of them are pretty good.
Most of the time it works out.
But that doesn't mean Oklahoma, Alabama, LSU, their best player may be a 2-star.
Yeah, a lot of times because there's a lot of 3 stars. So that's why 3 stars kind of overwhelm the NFL draft, because there's 3 times more than there are 5, because they're supposed to be, because there's only 32 5-stars.
Well, I didn't realize there was only 32.
Yep. And Alabama's got 5 of them.
So when you say, well, they're not a 5-star, that's not an insult.
So there's only 27 of them.
27 left.
And Bama's got 5.
The other 20 is going to Oregon.
They do have a bunch too.
Really?
Oh, God. Yeah, they're loaded.
That's why they keep getting ranked.
Yeah. And they got a good quarterback on scene, and they got Dante Moore also.
And I don't want to put you on the spot, but who's some great, fantastic players, just unbelievable, that were not 5 stars? I don't know a lot about the star system. I'm just going to ask some.
Like historically?
I'm sure Henry was a 5-star, right?
Yeah.
But was
well, we was just talking about Ardarius Stewart.
Ardarius Stewart was not.
God, man, he was great.
Yeah. Will, the guy that's been so good for Clemson the last few years.
Shipley?
He's not. He was not.
Well, the kid that Birds covered at Georgia, what's his name? Played last year.
Yeah, he was not, right?
The little small guy.
Oh, McConkey.
Yeah.
Oh, no. He's about a 3.
Maybe a 4.
Now, I know the tight end was
Bowers, Brock, yeah.
But most of them, my point is, most people aren't.
No.
Joe Burrow wasn't.
There's only, I know. He was a 4-star.
4-star.
Coming out of a big school from up north. And
he started on the Super Bowl team.
And then you have like Peyton Thron. This, people will argue with me and say, well, Peyton had a terrible year last year. Okay, at Auburn. He don't make any line adjustments and stuff. Well, he's a 3-star guy from Illinois. And they're like, well, Joe Burrow had a bad first year too. Joe Burrow is a 4-star guy that played in a better system than Thron did.
Joe Burrow didn't have a bad first year. He just didn't do as well his first year as he did his second.
Yeah. He almost, sets one of the highest percentages right under Mac Jones by like 1% difference.
I mean, yeah, and his yardage was ridiculous. Yeah. He had one of the greatest college football seasons in the history.
Yeah.
College football. And Jones did too, but Burrow had more yards. I think Jones had a better completion. That's 2 of the best seasons the quarterback's ever had.
Yeah. So those are some rankings in your top 5. Alabama, congrats to them on taking over the number 1 spot. Completely unexpected. Definitely. I was thinking, well, they'll finish top 10. Or if they get a top 8 class, it's a new coach, it's a new staff.
Yeah, he seems to be. I don't know what he's telling them, but it seems to be working.
Well, here's the thing, and we'll move on. Here we'll ask this question. Did Alabama, were they a traditional, people knew them before Saban came?
Right.
Were they?
Oh, yeah.
People, think that, Saban did do a good job. And if you say this, it makes you seem like I'm undermining what Nick Saban did. And I'm not undermining him at all. I'm just saying that Alabama was a university that played football about 180 years before Nick Saban, and about 150 or 130 before he was born.
Well, they're not going to die out just because. I mean,
because of what he's done, and he's built it up so high. It will take. Shout out J-Boy Craning Company. He said this. It's a brand. Mm-hmm. It's not just the coach. It will take. This is what Jay said. Jake Crane. He said it'll take year after year after year, like 4 or 5 years of going like only winning 7 or 8 games. Mm-hmm. Because how kids come, and the reason they come is because they want to play for championships. Mm-hmm. And Alabama, if not winning it, they're usually playing for it or they're in a semi game every year.
Well, it just creates a narrative and it also, which is false. Alabama wasn't horrible the 15 years before Saban got there between championships. Stallings won one in 92. They went 11-1 in 94. Shula went 11-2 or 10-2 one time, right? Dubose had one team that was great. Mm-hmm. So we're talking 4 times in 15 years that Alabama finished in the top 10. There's a lot of teams that ain't finished in the top 10 in the last 15 years. They did it 4 times over a 15-year span in between Stallings and Saban. So it was not like their hole wasn't real bad.
No. And DeBoer's, what he was handed the keys to was a Ferrari. Saban was given Saban was given an older model Porsche with probably a flat tire. Now he could come back later and he repaired the tire and he freshened up the engine and turned it into a Lamborghini, traded in for a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
DeBoer does have a better situation handed him than Saban did.
Oh, yes, definitely.
But that brand on that helmet, what you see right there, that sells. It's not a hard sale, you know? It's like being a dealer for a Bugatti. If you're even coming to a lot that even sells Bugattis, you're not there just kicking tires because they're $500,000 to $1 million car.
Yeah, you can't take them on test runs.
No. You're not going just to look at a Rolls Royce Phantom. Well, I just think I'll go look at one and see about it. It's $1.5 million.
Can I lease that for a week? No.
Yeah, no. It's Mike Tyson could.
Yeah, but I'm talking about a normal person.
Yeah,
like us.
no. They're going to check your credit score and your bank record, see if you have enough money even put I don't like the down payment's probably $250,000.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is there's a brand for Rolls Royce. There's a brand for Alabama, and they're in the front of your thoughts of being consecutively good. Notre Dame's a brand. USC is a brand. Texas is a brand. Now those teams have not been successful in the last 12 years.
Not great.
But who's been because of why? Because that guy.
Yeah.
That's why there ain't nobody eating at the table. Nobody got to eat.
Yeah.
When Jordan played, nobody eat. When Saban coached,
nobody ate.
Every once in a while, somebody would get through.
Yeah.
If he had to get up and go pee. So that's just
which wasn't much.
Yeah.
He had a catheter.
Yeah, he just stayed at the table. So that's kind of the point of that.
That's a good point. Yeah.
It's a brand.
He just made that's great. I like that analogy. Nobody ate besides Jordan when he played.
Nobody.
And it got annoying. You're like, can somebody else win this thing? No. And it was the same with Saban, and it's kind of the same with the Patriots.
Yep.
I mean, and Tom Brady and Bill Belichick working together. It's just the way it is.
It's just how it is.
Stuff don't come along like that much.
No. And we won't ever see
Yankees did it in baseball for a while.
Yeah, we won't ever see. And Aaron Judge is like killing the home run record right now. He's like crushing it.
But you remember in the 90s when the Braves were pretty good, but the Yankees were they wasn't nobody going to beat them. And Mariano Rivera, he MVP 3 times.
It just is what it is.
Yeah.
But when you say that, then people assume that you're knocking their brand. Or I'm not knocking nobody's brand. I'm just pointing out the fact that Alabama the wheels are not going to fall off the bus. They're not just going to go away next year. They're not just going to lose 6 games next year.
No.
Now, if he loses 3 games, that's possible. And then the next year, if he loses 3 again, and then the next year he loses 4, and you can see a slide. I just showed you the recruiting class.
I don't think that's going to happen.
And they had 5 stars last year's class. They're on the field, and he just brought in 5 more. So there's 10 5-stars. There's 10 first-round draft picks standing on the field right now. And I'm not even mentioning the classes before that are 5 stars. That's just the last year's in this one. Next year, there'll be 10. Now, they're going to lose some of the seniors that are 5 stars, that were 5 stars years back. But you see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
If you got a 65 or 70 team squad and like 12 of them are 5 stars, that means you got 12 first-round draft picks.
Yeah.
And they're at all positions: running back, 2 wide receivers, 2 offensive linemen, a quarterback, and maybe a running back that AK Deer kid may be coming to Bama too. Which I don't think they need no help in their running back room. I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I think so. They're going to be fine.
Yeah, and we're going to do their schedules here too. SEC Media Days coming this week. So here's a schedule. If you're curious about it, I know you can look it up on your phone, but if you just want to know, tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m., first off, up to bat, LSU, Coach Kelly.
First thing, huh?
LSU be up first, 9 o'clock. South Carolina, Ole Miss, and then Vandy. That's tomorrow. Tuesday, the 16th, the Dogs, Coach Smart will be up first about 9 o'clock. Then Tennessee, Coach Heupel, Coach Venable's at OU, and then the Mizzou Tigers, Coach Drink. They'll be on Tuesday.
Okay.
Wednesday, Bama will be on, start the show at 9. Mississippi State, Florida, and then Texas will be in the room Wednesday. Now, this is all happening in Dallas for the first time ever, SEC Media Day.
I was just going to ask you where it was.
Which is weird, but, Texas is new. So
yeah, Dallas, big city.
Sure. And then the 18th, Thursday, they'll finish the day with Arkansas, A&M, Auburn will be on at 1 o'clock, Kentucky, and then they'll finish at 3:15.
There's so many teams in it. You got to have to do it over about 4 days now, don't you?
And ours will be Saturday, starting at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, Saturday.
And I've got the schedules posted, and I shared on the page with everybody, and hope everybody would like to come out and support our great coaches.
We won't be in Dallas. We'll just be
No, we're going to move to Dallas.
Yeah, with them.
Yeah, we're going to do it with them. We're going to come in. After they get done, we're coming in Saturday. Just leave the microphones up.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? That's what we want. That's our goal, just to come out and, hey, run your media days out here. Y'all do y'all's after.
Yeah, we'll fly everybody out here. That'd be awesome.
That would be. That's here. Now, let me ask you one question. I know what media days means to us, but is it the same thing with them? Do just a ton of reporters come and just fire off questions?
Yep, same thing. First, the head coach comes out.
Okay.
And they ask him, they'll have
2 players with him, right?
8 or 10 different, reporters from SECs, ESPNs, ABC Sports, CBS Sports, writers. A lot of guys sitting down there in the front on their computers writing, sports writers. And then the players will come out.
Okay.
And there's usually 2 or 3. I think
usually they spend an hour on a team. Probably.
I think most teams have. I think they got 3 players. I think Jalen and Booker and Malachi is coming.
That would be the perfect. You got the offensive leader and the defensive leader.
Yeah, and you got one of the linemen.
Yeah,
because Booker's been a big time spokesperson for the university. When Saban left and the other players left, he just kind of said, "Well, if you leave, then kick rocks. We don't need you.
Yeah,
we're going to build something special back without you."
Okay. So I figured it was the same type of format.
Yeah. Then they just kind of ask, when there's a mediator on stage, it'll say, okay, next, kind of like I do. All right, next up is
right.
Spring Garden's coming up next. Welcome in Coach Ragsdale and players, give you names and coach. And
I've watched media days, but I've never watched it from, the minute they come out there to the minute it ended.
Last year I stayed on live through Alabama's and Georgia, and I think Auburn too.
Yeah.
So I'll try to go live maybe if I can.
Yeah.
Let's see. When's Bama on Wednesday morning? Yeah, I'll be back. I think I'll be back by 9.
Yeah. Wednesday morning, Alabama.
Yeah, 9 o'clock. They'll be on. Then Auburn will be on Thursday at 1. Georgia's on Tuesday at 9 also. So Tuesday and Wednesday morning, Bama. Thursday at 1, Auburn. Peanut Gallery. JB says roll, tide, roll, and Bama's getting a running back commit this week. Yeah, I know. I was just talking about him. That Acklandier.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
That'll be 6. I'll have to go back and look.
32. I didn't realize that.
I don't know if Saban ever had 6 5-stars. I don't know. I'll have to. I'll have to go look.
I wonder what I've never heard of numbers that high.
That's a lot.
Yeah. You're cornering the market on that. Pretty much. I mean, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Okay, no, we didn't do that. We did media days. Yeah, Dean, an Oklahoma podcaster.
Yeah, I want to hear about that.
He was an ex-player, and I picked this up from, I think Crane Company played it. I watched them a lot. J-Boy and Blaine and his sidekick over there and his brother, Dave. And
sorry, man. I'm just I don't remember this.
Yeah, 31-0.
I didn't. I mean, I knew they beat them, but
into the half. Yeah, that was the blackout game.
31-0.
Yeah, Stafford couldn't get anything done.
Wow, that's him and Marino too, right?
Yeah, that was
and AJ Green.
My favorite Georgia quarterback. I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
It's a great professional career.
Yeah.
So this OU podcast guy, he played there, and I ain't gonna say his name because he don't need no clout. He just and there's. I kind of agree a little.
Uh-huh.
So I don't want to bang the hammer down on him. He just said, other than Alabama and a little bit of Georgia, maybe here recently, the SEC ain't done crap. They ain't done spit. What have they done? So let's just, logically you take, I guess if you.
Well, I've had a buddy argue that. He says top heavy.
Take away Bama and Georgia. And give me a case, Dean, and tell me how good the SEC is. Who is?
Well, LSU's had been good for a long time, off and on for 20-something years.
How many have they got in the last 10? One
title? 1, 2 before, and the 10 years before that. 3 in 20 years. Florida, of course, when Tebow and Chris Leak and then were there with Meyer, 1, 2. Then they won one back when we were kids in school. And
late 90s, yeah. Chris Leak. And
and when, of course, with Spurrier, you could put them in an argument. They've had great teams. Tennessee, well, they've just now coming back around. So,
Mississippi State.
Ole Miss has had some good teams, but I don't know that they've
never even won the conference.
They've never really been on the national.
Never won the conference
level.
When you tell people that, people are like, well, Ole Miss has won it 2 or 3. No.
No. They've had good teams. Mississippi State average, Kentucky average, South Carolina. They've had a few good teams, but nothing ridiculous. So, I mean, you take away Alabama. Auburn's had some good teams. Nothing ridiculous. They won it in 10, and they played for it another year. But a lot of those years in between, they wasn't even ranked real high, not in the top 5 or 10.
But to say that the SEC as a whole, that's just – if you took Alabama out, I guess, you could probably make some kind of argument.
Mm-hmm.
But just to say the conference as a whole is not done spit is silly because here's the thing. Go look at the first round picks, and here's what I've told a lot of people. If it's just, they accuse like these people of bumping up Alabama players, like they bump them up to 5 stars just because they're going to Bama.
Just because they're going. They're really not 5 stars.
No. Well, if that's true, then I guess the NFL's on it. They're in on it. They're in on it also.
Right. Big scandal or big conspiracy.
Yeah, like flat earth crap.
Yeah.
Like NASA's in on it, thousands and millions of people over since the year 630 when we proved with the stick and the shadow test how we could prove the earth is not flat, thousands of years ago. Everybody's in on it. It's not true. It's just diehard fans of other teams that are just – they're sick of the same thing happening every year. And they want their team to aspire. They're like, well, they're doing it. Why can't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think the comments over the top.
I think it's a little over.
Just lewd.
Well, you can't. Georgia and Alabama are in there. So with us, what's this what if?
Well,
the Nazis wouldn't have been so mean if Hitler hadn't been there later. Well, he was.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's just part of it. Unfortunately, he's a psycho. but he's an OU fan. So tell me, what has OU done in the past?
OU hasn't.
2000,
not since Stoops.
25 years
left.
24 years.
I thought he did fantastic there.
How many times they even won their conference in the past?
They did go to a couple of, what do you call them? Playoffs. Mayfield, that's the best team they've had. That team that should have beat Georgia. That's the best team they've had in 20 years.
So
20, I think.
That's the thing here's what happens when you go to running off the mouth and what we call around here eating a little crow, like Andy Griffin says, or putting your foot in your mouth.
Right.
When you go to running off the mouth and you're a fan of another team, you have to be in thought process of, somebody that knows football may check me on that and just, because if I was standing there in the room with him, I would have checked him in about 3 seconds and said, well, tell me about Oklahoma and how devastating, what a dynasty they've built out there in the past 25 years. Yeah. It's not.
Well, I'd say in the last 15 years, their best team was when that team that Georgia beat to go play Alabama, with Sony Michel, Nick Chubb and all that. But no, they've not done any more than these other teams we've talking about. Maybe a little more. They've done a little more than Kentucky and Tennessee.
Yeah.
But not LSU, not Florida, not old. No, they're not been a lot greater than everybody in the conference.
This is what I was thinking. If you pull them apart, let's just pull the conference into, just imagine all the teams lined up in bricks, like bricks over here. Where in those 16 bricks now, where does Oklahoma fall in Texas? Where do they fall in that? Where do they fall in the, the bricks? Top brick is Well, it's got to be Alabama right now. I mean, they're not the most. Georgia's the most recent team to win a national championship, but Alabama has won the conference. So if we're talking about the conference, Alabama B1, Georgia
obviously
2.
Georgia 2. Georgia, I read last night, they finished in the top 7 for 7 or better the last 7 years. That's good.
Sure.
That's very good.
So where does these two new teams coming in? Where do they rank in this 16 part? They're not at the bottom. They're not
at the bottom.
They're not down there with Vanderbilt or South Carolina or.
We'll say since Saban came in the last. Let's just start 15 years since 2008. I'd say they're in the middle. They're not at the top. Texas has had some good teams, but they're not at the top.
I mean, when's the last time they won?
Georgia and Alabama is still way ahead of everybody.
And Texas gets to hang their hat.
Now, LSU's third to me.
Yeah. And Texas gets to hang the hat on the fact they've beat Alabama. Right?
Right.
They've took care of business.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're right below. Auburn's always kind of they feel like the middle gatekeepers to me.
I think Auburn and Alabama, Texas and Oklahoma are all in the middle. I don't think they're any better. Auburn's done just as well as those two in the last 15 years.
Yeah. Auburn's more relevant than Oklahoma.
In the last 15, I would close.
Now, if you want to total up wins.
Well, they won one. They nearly won another one.
Probably not if you total up wins because they ain't been a ranked team in 2 years.
Right.
So if you're talking about recently, no. But if you take we're taking a picture since 2008.
Yeah.
Since like this game here. Auburn is they're not Bama or Georgia because they can never recruit as high as them. They just can't.
No.
And they're not Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
They're not Tennessee, but Tennessee's come on.
Tennessee's come on lately.
So
Florida's had some good teams.
A more recent picture than Auburn and Mississippi State and Vanderbilt are down at the bottom. I think Auburn didn't even win their bowl game this year.
Right.
But as a whole, they're right there. Oklahoma,
they're in the middle. Yeah.
Oklahoma, Texas to me are.
Texas has been doing better lately. Obviously last year
I would probably
they struggled. They fired Strong, the guy before Sarkisian, got rid of Mac Brown basically.
Yeah, run him off. You see, he's been pretty good.
He's doing pretty good. Yeah.
Even after North Carolina was put on probation had to forfeit games in 89, and they fired Butch.
Well, they struggled. Texas has struggled. But what I'm saying, my point is Texas and Oklahoma have had good teams over the last 15 years, but as a whole, I don't think they've had good enough teams where a guy should be saying that the SEC sucks.
No.
So
there's not enough evidence to show in the past 20 years
that they're better. No. Yeah. If you're going to do it like that, a court case, we got to prove that Texas and Oklahoma have done better than the rest of the SEC besides Georgia and Alabama. You can't prove it.
And more recently, like I said, if you want to rank it, I would say Bama, Georgia, 1A, 1B. Okay. Now, we may feel different after this year. We're going to have to see how Coach DeBoer, how he reacts in this new conference. But then after that, dude, you got to have LSU, and then you got to have Tennessee.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I would probably have Texas after LSU or after Tennessee.
Yeah.
Something like that, I guess.
Well, this guy's probably talking about where Oklahoma did go to the playoffs 3 straight years.
And then you would probably put Oklahoma and then Auburn. And then you could go on down with I probably like
South Carolina's had some good teams, but they're probably down there. Mississippi State's
probably Bama, Georgia, LSU, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Texas, Florida being the bottom for me, bottom 3.
In the last since Myers left.
Yeah,
Mullen had some good teams.
Oh, sure,
but no, they've not been dominant in the last 15 years.
Texas, Ole Miss, Tennessee, LSU, Georgia, Bama. That's 6. Now, the other 10 is that Auburn, Oklahoma. I think they're pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Auburn has played for one since Oklahoma has. Played for 2. They won 1.
2. Won 1. Nearly won 2.
Calvin Benjamin or what's his name?
Yeah, Kelvin Benjamin. And Winston.
Heisman winner. Auburn may have won 2.
97-yard drive or 93 long one to win it.
That's just a big old bunch of crap.
Yeah.
Don't call out another conference that you're coming to, because the best thing to do is just come in and
I wouldn't give that much relevance.
Just come in and be quiet and work.
That's shock talk.
Yeah.
Not shop talk, shock.
Yeah, SHOCK. Just come in and put down the football and just work and bust tail. You got to go to Auburn, Oklahoma.
And I'm
telling you, I posted this on J Boy's page.
Mm-hmm.
He said, how's it going to be when Oklahoma shows up to Auburn? And some OU fans want to come on there. We're going to win by 30 or we're going to win by 20. I said, you might, because they're still struggling. They may finish with a top 12 class. Their quarterback's terrible.
Right.
They got a receiver, but they're going to have to work on their line. And I like their running back room, but I'm telling you, those freaking fans love their home field at Jordan-Hare, and they are going to show up. Please tell them.
Oh,
Look right in that camera, Dean, and tell Oklahoma fans, Auburn fans are going to show up.
Yeah.
They're going to show up.
Oh, yeah, and show out, too.
They're going to show up.
I think they'll be very good. Let me rephrase that. I think that'll be very good that day there. I don't know how Auburn will be overall. I think I've got them winning. We both got them winning 7-8, which is an improvement. But I wouldn't want to. You go in there and you take that game lightly, and you're beat.
Yeah, you better not go out there, because they take pride in their home games.
Yes.
When that eagle flies out around that field, dude, they get fired. And they beat teams they ain't supposed to beat.
They do. Oh, yeah, all the time.
And it just happens there.
All the time. I'm doing some calculating here.
Now, here's the last question, and this is a fan question for comment section, Peanut Gallery. Guys, what is the possibilities that a fan, how big of a effect do they have on the NILs for college players?
Oh, I'd say huge.
Not when this football game was going on, but back, all those 12, 13 years ago. But here's the thing. A fan affects NILs so largely because it's the name and the image and likeness of the player.
Right.
And this is what brought it to my attention. What brought this to my attention was watching an interview with Keelan Russell, Duncanville quarterback, 5-star kid, Elite 11 MVP coming to Bama. Watch an interview with him. And the interview guy just said, what's it been like since you decommitted? Because that's kind of close to where you live. And you having to walk around town, decommitting from SMU and then committing to Alabama. He said that's been a little tough. There's some people that didn't really like it.
Oh, I'm sure.
He's a local kind of.
they're not going to kill you.
He's a local star. It'd been like Jamie Hampton. He was like, say he was supposed to. He's dead in rights.
Go to Alabama.
He's going to Alabama.
Then he goes to Rutgers.
He's like, let's say no.
It'd be worse.
We'll say this: he was supposed to commit to JSU.
Yes.
And then he decides to go up and play D1 football at Tennessee.
Yeah, and that'd be hard to.
It'd be hard to turn down. You get to go to, instead of going to South Alabama, you go to Kentucky and play football.
Yeah, but I don't know. It was kind of worse because I'm sure SMU was and SMU's on the rise again.
They are.
They were very, their fan base and their boosters were very excited about getting him. So I'm sure they're not real happy. But, SMU is not Alabama.
No. So he said that him coming to Alabama, he picked up, like he said, man, as soon as I committed on his Instagram page, on his Twitter page, he said, I picked up, tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people. Well, guess what that does? Picking up those people grows his crowd. So now when he wants to go do an NIL deal, these companies, businesses like Jalen Milroe has a NIL deal with Beats by Dre.
Right.
He can say, well, how many Instagram followers you have? Well, if he's going to SMU, he'd have like 300,000. Now he's got over 1 million.
Yeah.
Because he goes to a big brand school like Bama.
So what you're basically saying is the big brand schools they're going to win out in this NIL, more than likely.
Well, they're going to get players to come because they know that going to a team that plays in championships consecutively and the teams that are out on the field playing and winning games, not going 6-6 or going 7-5 or whatever.
Right.
Teams that are winning 10 games consecutively. That's how you grow a program. you can get a 5-star every once in a while, but to really grow something and bring those kids in, you got to win.
Yeah.
At all cost. And it's going to take time to bring some of these older programs like Tennessee. They're on the rise.
Yeah.
So when
They
Nico
are
goes,
coming up.
his NIL could be valuable because his Instagram account is going to go up because he's at Tennessee.
Oh, Nico's.
Let them win 11 games this year, see what his NIL value will be next year.
Mm-hmm.
Let him win 11 games.
And he's got to play that year. I mean, he can't go pro.
Let Tennessee win 11 games and come back and watch this show and tell me what Nico's NIL value is. Because Bryce Young was high. And then when they go out and win all them games, and then when he comes back, he wins the Heisman, he's on Dr. Pepper commercials because he made value to himself.
Right.
And it ain't going to happen by going to teams that are just mid. Because who wants to follow a kid that's going to play for a team, one that's only going to win 7 or 8 games?
Right.
It's hard to build value. And that's what these schools can sell. Hey, if you come here to Ohio State, we can build your brand. Because all these followers from our fan base, from our large fan base, Ohio State, go look at these recruits at On3 again. Oregon, Ohio State, Alabama, LSU, Notre Dame. That's the biggest brands. Texas. And,
Notre Dame's kind of coming back, ain't they?
Yeah, I think so. They're going to be okay. They got a good quarterback coming.
I think they made the right hire.
I'm really curious this year.
Now, I like Kelly. I do like Brian Kelly. But I think Freeman's been
he's good.
Because, they come on. They started out, Marshall beat them last year early?
They got to stop doing that.
Yeah, but they improved a lot over the years. And they had Ohio State beat, too.
You can't lose those kind of games. When the shine is on.
Yeah, Ohio State scored like on the last play.
You can't lose those games.
Yeah, no.
Like LSU plays USC game 1. LSU, Coach Kelly, he's got to win that game.
He needs to.
You got to go beat Riley. So that's my point. NIL, how does fans affect NIL? I didn't think about it till I watched that interview, and I just thought, well, gosh, I mean, if there's more fans at this school than that one, then surely it's making itself more valuable, right?
I would think so, yes.
I mean, if you got, 10 million fans at this big university, and you got a mid university that has 5 million fans, and you got a small school like SMU that may have 1 million or 2.
Right.
Well, the team that's got 10 million fans is going to all be fans of you because you're their quarterback.
Yeah, you're the man. Well, I mean,
it's not just a secret, though. That's what I'm saying. To build this NIL, to build it, it's not a secret. There's no secret out there. Build your brand, and Mr. Morgan, the guy at Alabama that does their media, he's the one doing it, and hats off to him because he's killing it. They got 5 stars, and the kids recruit other kids. Hey, Keelan Russell, number 1 quarterback, I want Cunningham to come play with me. Come play football with me. 5 stars hooking up, scoring touchdowns, winning rings.
It's just like with anything else. I mean, if you're a singer and you got a gig at Jake's on the Lake, and you're guaranteed to get 300 followers from it, but you also got a gig in Atlanta guaranteed to give you 1,000. Which one are you going to go to?
Yeah. I mean, if it pays more and you're going to be in front of a bigger crowd.
Yeah.
And all programs are not the same.
No, they're not. And SMU and Alabama are not.
No, not even close. They're what Alabama was probably in the 20s or the 50s or something.
I mean, and I will say this about SMU. Okay, I've got those ranked now. They are making a move back. They were great when Eric Dickerson and all them were there. What was that? Logan Brooks, what'd he say?
Milroe will be on the bench week 5, Vols win by 50.
Hey, I've had people tell me, I've had Alabama fans look me in the eye and say, Milroe won't be that quarterback.
No, absolutely not. I won't. I'll promise you this. From studying I've done this week,
Milroe's going to be their quarterback.
If he's not in New York at the end of the season, I'll pay Logan $5. I'll Venmo you $5. You send me your Venmo. If he's not in New York, I didn't say win it.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a quarterback winning because ain't no running back's going to win it.
No.
Now, I picked the guy from the Robinson kid from Oklahoma State. He was a dark horse.
Yeah.
They ain't a running back won it since Henry.
Oh, I know.
So
he had to have a monster season to win.
What other receivers are going to win this thing? It's going to be a quarterback or maybe a receiver. Who's it going to be? Abuka?
Mm-hmm.
Who's it going to be?
I don't know. I'm actually interested.
Luther Burden
Could be a candidate. I'm actually interested in the
ETN, tailback Georgia.
Heisman this year.
There's no running backs going to win it.
No, it's been a while.
So that's how fans affect NIL money. So that's why kids want to go to these big schools and show out, and because they're going to get a lot of followers.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they build their brand, their NIL. And EA Sports game comes out. I think it comes out tomorrow.
Oh, really?
You fired up? You got your Xbox yet?
I don't even know where it is. Got somebody bring us an Xbox where we can get going on.
I'm going to bring mine here, plug it up, and play it.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do live.
Yeah, we're going to do it next week. Me and Dean.
Tournament.
I'm going to get Fresno State, and I'll take SMU, you get Fresno State.
All right, Logan, y'all come on. All our fans are invited.
Yeah. We may do it for
They used to have tourneys. They used to.
I could do that. I could plug it up and we could play.
Let me tell you something, and I'm going to call him out on here. Brian Cloudus was excellent at that. You weren't going to beat him.
Yeah, me and Sean was good at it. We used to battle a lot.
But now Brian Sexton, I'm going to tell this on him, coach at Hogs Bluff. He's killing me one night, and I found out he admitted he was cheating. I'm like, what?
Because you got the players juiced
I couldn't even tackle him.
He had his guy turned up on 99.
I don't know what happened. I mean, he admitted he laughed about it. But no, Brian Cloudus beat you to death.
We'll have to get that fixed up. We'll go over at Cladis and play it one day.
Yeah. Well, I liked it now. I did like it back in the day.
Well,
I like 2 Xbox games, and that was the football,
the golf,
and the golf.
Golf is fun too. I like the Tiger Woods old golf.
It was great.
So y'all come back. Hey, be watching through the week. Maybe I may turn it on and play it, or we'll get Dean over here this weekend. We'll turn it on, go live, and play it. I mean, it'll be fun. People watch because it's going to be fun. It's funny.
Yeah. I haven't played it in so long, I forgot. But you learn a lot playing it. I mean, it's fun.
I think I'll do a little thing, and we'll do Georgia.
Okay.
This is just something I thought about. I have these. If you notice, I have thoughts a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a philosopher by trade. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I noticed things like. Have you noticed that how football? We talk about how kids don't play football no more. They're big into basketball.
Yeah.
And the decline of football. Did you notice that it started about the time when the video game went away? It did.
I have not.
Because I coached it during that time, and I could see it going away. When the video game went away, our boys, Marcus, Jay Leon, Luke Welch, kids I had, and young kids, Nas, Slade Alexander, that young group, when they were about to hit that middle school age, the game went away.
Right. So I didn't
and they played
that.
Football because we brought them in that so young playing it, and they played it when they were young.
Yeah.
But then it went away, and then the game started taking off.
It has taken over.
So kids are going to do what they play on these games and what they see. And all they're doing is like either shooting stuff on Fortnite, or they're playing.
Building stuff. What's the one where they build it?
Fortnite. Or they're playing basketball games.
Yeah.
Well, that's what – you got a bunch of crazy shooters like the crazy guy who tried to shoot Trump.
Well –
or you got kids – playing basketball games. So I just thought, so now we're going to see.
Now we're getting back to football.
Let's see how this turns out. Let's see if this kids
2K
that are born.
kids. That's why everybody plays 2K now.
So kids that are born in like 2016 or 17, that class, if you're born in that year.
So they'll be playing high school football by 2030.
Let's see how football looks then.
You think football?
I bet money will be up. I bet money.
That's interesting.
I bet money because they're going to play it. And what they see on TV, the same thing we did. We didn't get to play the wrestling game, but what me and Jerry Harris, God rest his soul, what we saw on TV with the Freebirds and wrestling and Sting,
right.
We wanted to go out in the yard and do that.
Yeah, it was. Well, I will say this:
we want to go wrestle in the front yard.
When I was young, I'm 5 years older than Matt. Wrestling was big. But it was really big in the 90s.
Oh, crazy big.
Crazy big in the 90s.
And you could tell because we wanted to emulate all that stuff. Yeah. So I want to see now.
It was big in the 80s. It was bigger in the 90s.
This video game comes back.
To me.
And now wrestling's going to be on Netflix, and they're going to start doing some blood on Netflix, and WWE's going to be a little more R-rated. Video game football's coming back. I think we're fixing to be on the upswing for sports.
Could be. It could come back.
I'm just saying. I don't know that for a fact. I'm just kind of guessing. So tell me what y'all think. Hit the comments down there.
Oh, one more thing about wrestling. Think it was big. Hulk Hogan was in Rocky III, guys. That's how big it was.
For our local people, Ric Flair was.
Yeah, Florida, but I'm just saying it was just
Florida,
big.
Atlanta, and Memphis area. But Hogan was like going wrestling in Japan.
Oh, I hear more people make Ric Flair references.
Hogan's the goat of the networking of wrestling. Rick is the goat of turning it into Rolex wearing, limousine riding.
Is it going down?
No, it's way on the upswing.
Okay. Well, NASCAR's gone down.
Yes, because they pulled some racist crap about a noose hanging in. And it's I thought when I first seen that, I thought, well, that's kind of tacky. Why would somebody do that? I mean, the boy, don't do that. And then they showed the picture in the garage. It
was the thing to pull up the.
Listen, I worked in shops.
Pull up the
dadgum handle that you pull the door down with.
I never did hear nothing else about it.
And when they showed the picture, everybody went, that's why NASCAR's dead.
I don't hear much about tennis anymore either.
It's this psycho babble from the left. That's why.
Yeah.
Nobody don't want to hear that. Tractor Supply, they tried that for about a week. See what happened? Stopped, crashed. And they said, oh, wait a minute. We're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Went back up. Now John Deere's fixing to do it.
Really?
Anyway.
All right.
See, but I think football is going to be on the rise.
Because you think football is going to be on the rise because this game?
Yeah, absolutely. Out. I think my son's generation was the last ones that were in that right spot of their life where they got to play it enough that they could kind of you can make your own player. Remember when we'd go over to Sean?
Yeah, it was great.
Keaton being there I'm quarterback, I'm going to play. I'm on this team.
Oh, we didn't play. I don't ever remember going to y'all's house when your kids were boys, you or Sean or anybody, and them playing basketball. It was football. All the time. Football. I mean, they don't mean they didn't like basketball.
They played football game. That EA Sports, man.
And now you hear the kids talking, what'd you do last night? I stayed up till 4 o'clock in the morning. On a school night? Yeah, I was playing 2K.
Yeah, basketball. I'm telling you, fix change. We'll do a survey on it, and in 10 years, we'll come back and talk about it again.
Yeah.
We'll be on ESPN by then.
10 years.
I'm taking it over. It's not going to be ESPN. It's going to be.
We'll have to come up with a name.
Sports by
the ESPYs were come out. I didn't see who won what. But.
It's going to be called the Men's Sport Network. We're not doing no men that practice and play with women. We're not going to cover any of that crap. We're just going to talk about what we just cover sports. Yeah, ESPYs. Nick Saban gave a very interesting speech.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I did not. That's why I saw where the ESPYs were on.
The highlight that we seen was we all know he's a good talker.
Yeah, very.
That's why has players, because he said his father helped him remind him of a good question that the lasting impression you have on people is not what you do for them always, but they'll remember how you made them feel. You always remember how somebody made you feel.
Yeah. Or not important, whatever. I
remember this, and I'll never forget this. And I taught my son and all the boys that played football with him. Saban always told Ingram that you wanted to go out and to help somebody be a better version of themselves. Mm-hmm. I taught them that always. I remember telling them that, try to be a better version of yourself tomorrow than you was today. Just try a little harder. You can do it. Be a winner and try and speak positivity and talk positive to people. I was at work for Saban. He's a good talker. He's a salesman. That's how he always recruits. And he could dance a little.
Well, and he's not a BSer, though. He comes through on most of it.
And you can say,
and obviously Kirby Smart does too.
Morally, him and the guy that helped at Auburn for years. He's at South Carolina. His boy went up there and played.
Dang it, I'm drawing a blank.
Defensive guy. Not
Kevin, not Steele.
No. Muschamp.
Will Muschamp. Yeah, it's a George. No, he's at.
Him and Saban on some old videos would break headsets. They're both chewing players at the same time.
Oh, it's bad.
I've just seen, wow.
Yeah.
Other than those kind of things, guys, Nick Saban's the best to ever do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, he went a little crazy sometimes, but, it's what it is.
Georgia's coming back.
Oh, yeah, I went to some 7-on-7 stuff, Sand Rock, Cedar Bluff, Spring Garden, at Spring Garden.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Went good. They got better as the day went on.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell they were we're getting into, like,
Mm-hmm.
you're playing against somebody that's not your friends.
Right.
Well,
right,
they're
right.
friends anyway. I didn't mean that. You're playing against somebody that's not your own teammate.
Teammate. You're not having to push around and guard your teammate.
And as the day went on, they played a little better. Got to see Bryson Teague. Bryson was backing up, throwing a little football.
Mm-hmm.
Been a little quarterback out there. Tall. God, he's so darn tall. And Bradley, he's going to be Cedar Bluff. He was throwing the ball around some. I think Hunter's little shoulder problems. Noah, of course.
I heard Hunter had some
at Noah at Spring Garden.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing Connor and them get to run, and John made some, he's going to make some good catches.
Oh, yeah. He's an athlete.
John's going to have a good
John's special athlete.
Him and Connor are going to have good years. And Noah, they'll.
Yeah, they got to. I mean, if you're the OC, Coach, it's Coach Ragsdale, but whoever it is, you got two good backs. I'm just saying, hey, I would just give it to Connor this time, John next. Connor this time, John next.
Coach Heath.
Yeah.
Alec.
Yeah, Alec.
The little Ashley. And his footwork, he's snappy.
Coming on, huh?
The way he moves, and you can tell they working with him, and he's doing stuff. And I talked to his dad, and he's still talking me. He's dropping, dad coaching stuff. So, and Kane, them's going to run the ball back there for them some maybe. And
I heard Kane was hurt.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know if there's any truth to anybody from Sand Rock watching Kane Robinson. I'd heard that he had an injury and might be missed some time. I don't know if that's true.
During one of the camps.
Apparently, or at a workout, maybe. It might have been during summer baseball. I don't know.
No, I've seen him all since then.
Okay.
I
did hear that. A woman like at
Walmart or something.
Told me the other day.
But some of the other camps, now I did go to Rainbow City, rode down there with Zach, and I seen Westbrook, talked to Coach Smith for just a minute, seen to Coach Taylor from Glencoe, talked to him a minute. And we seen Woodville, got to see them play a little bit.
Yeah.
They're better.
Mm-hmm.
I can just tell. This new coach, this guy, he's going to do a good job.
Yeah, Whipple has gotten better.
West End, Coach Harris, that was the offensive line coach forever.
Mm-hmm.
He took the head job. Mm-hmm. Talked to him for a few minutes. And, of course, Cedar Bluff and Spring Garden, they played each other and stuff. So I got to see them play, and it was hot.
Yeah.
I did a little video about 10 minutes, stood there with Coach Short, did a live spot with him, and we talked about his, how did he like 7-on-7 camps? And a lot of the old coaches kind of say, well, OTAs were better, of course, but the thing I've heard other coaches say, they don't like 7-on-7.
Mm-hmm. Not all coaches like them.
It creates bad habits because they want to play up. They want to play off in a game because they're used to playing off in 7-on-7 because they know the ball's going to get thrown. You're not running the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to remind
more
them.
Than likely, I guess you can.
But you have to play up close in a game. You want to play a little closer.
Yeah.
And 7-on-7 sometimes create bad habits. So
I can see where it could, but it doesn't create bad habits for the receivers and the quarterbacks.
No, and that's what it's for. It's just something for that team to get some time in against other kids.
Mm-hmm.
And Spring Garden they played Hanley in the championship game in the Piedmont camp.
Again?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And Hanley, I heard words from some over that way. They're really good this year.
They were really good last year. They just got everybody back.
Well, they lost some guys.
Did they have their quarterback back? Their quarterback was good.
I think him and the receiver and that big lineman they have is leaving. And that one I said that was like, hey, why don't you throw that guy the ball? And they threw it to him.
Yeah, they just reload. They had a good team. Yeah, they went 9-3.
Well, that area, man, you got Randolph County, that strip of property.
Oh gosh,
it's just football.
Every one of them's won a state title down through there.
So
Lynette, you got Lynette, Randolph, Clay County, Lineville. Then on the other side, you got Hanley.
Next week, if you like high school football,
yeah,
we'll probably just do high school next week. Mm-hmm. They get Coach Short to come on. They get Starkey to come in, and we'll just do.
Yeah,
we'll talk about high school football around here and some of the realignments. And I didn't even know this till just a week ago. Down, Snot, down.
That was a good one there, wasn't it?
Did you know that Pleasant Grove they're down from 5A to 4A?
No, that's not good.
I didn't know that. How did I not know that? And I got the schedule thing.
That's not good.
Yeah, they're going to be 4A North, and they were deep in the semis in the 5A.
Yeah.
So anyway, come back next week.
I don't like that.
If you like high school football, because there's college, nothing's going on. It's media days this week, so if there's some news, we'll talk about something. But
right.
But anyway, let me do this. Dane's gonna do Georgia.
Oh, Georgia Bulldogs.
Screen schedules. No, what did I just do? Oh, there it is. There it is. We'll just mention this for watch me spend about 8 seconds on this, Dean. Okay, there it is. USA basketball Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
They beat Canada the other day, 86-72.
Who they play next?
And they got Australia. They play them tomorrow, and they have Serbia the 17th, South Sudan, Germany, and then back to Serbia, South Sudan, Puerto Rico. They'll play August the 3rd.
And the Olympics start
finish up
July 26th, man. The track and field and gymnastics, all that officially start in Paris
And if you're curious about who's on this team.
Yes, I am very curious.
Okay, we'll just pull that up on the screen. Podcast listeners, Anthony Davis, Steph, Devin Booker, Bam Adebayo, Joel Embiid, Halliburton, Edwards, Anthony Edwards, Cat, and then KD. Something happened to KD.
Yeah, so, they're not going to lose a game.
KD may be hurt. I think I read that. I'm not sure. Derek White, Jason Tatum, LeBron James, and the Holiday kid. And
Drew Holiday. Who's their coaches?
Steve Kerr, Mark Few, Tyrone Lue, and Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah, they're not going to lose. They're not. Who are you going to bring in to beat them? You're going to have to bomb them first. And then,
the 96 Bulls would have trouble with that team.
This might be I'll be shocked if they lose. They didn't win bad, but look, okay, take you five. You get mad at your 5 stars. You say you're coming out.
Third string go in. All right, third string is Jason Tatum, LeBron James, Derek White, Drew Holiday, and Tyler Halliburton. That's third string.
I did read where LeBron had actually played pretty good in these games.
Oh, well, he's great.
Or in that game,
especially these kind of games, these exhibition style games. He's great.
I think they'll get to gold. Which
there's no rules or
The United States has a right to have a team, and if they're just better, they are. I'd be shocked if they lose. But basketball's different. You can have an off night.
Said he went to JB said he used to watch NASCAR, and when it went to stage racing, felt like it was just shortened it, and all went downhill when they shortened the field and went to stage racing. Okay.
Who said that?
JB from Real Town.
See, I'm completely wrong because I thought stage racing would make it better.
I thought so too, but it didn't.
So it's ruined it.
Yeah, it run a lot of fans. I thought it would, and then when you watch it, I'm like, it's just not the same, man.
I would watch it and be like, this would be great if it was in stages instead of this just 500 laps of meow, meow. No, that's what the people want.
You just think like this 12-team playoff, we assume, and look,
it may stink.
If you don't get some good matchups and you start getting 55-0 like Alabama Notre Dame games, people are not going to watch that, man.
In 2028, there's going to be people hollering, just go back to the BCS for the top 2.
That's what I always wanted. I like the 4 because I was like, well, okay, it's
I like
different.
The 4.
Let's just do that. Now we're doing 12. Now teams that's lost 3 games is going to get in there and get their door smoked by some team that's only lost like 1 or 2 games. It's like Georgia's going to have to play like a 3-loss Oklahoma State team. They're going to beat them 45-0. Nobody wants to see that.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's kind of some other news. So Saturday, 12 o'clock, come out and hang out with us.
Oh, quickly, Matt, before I get into Georgia, Jacoby Jones, Super Bowl hero for the Ravens, dies at 40. The cause has been said he died peacefully, but the cause has not been released. T. Higgins will no longer be a Cincinnati Bengal. It could not work out a deal. And Kyrie Jackson, former corner that played for Alabama, ended up starting for Oregon, died in a car wreck. They had a vigil for him.
Yeah, somebody got shot.
And somebody got shot and killed.
Oh, God, please. What are we doing, man? What are we doing?
Why? Who are these shooters? I mean,
I ain't gonna tell you who I think it is. I'll put this up on the screen, and people that are watching, it's time slots for Saturday.
I'm just looking at that score. They're coming back.
12 o'clock, Gillsville, Sand Rock 12:30, Spring Garden at 1:30, The Bluff and Cherokee County will go on at 2. These times are not like
set in stone.
Yeah, it's going to be probably. I mean, if they go on at 12, then if Nap and them gets done at 12:20, we're not going to probably wait for 10
We're
minutes.
not going to wait 10 minutes. Oh, no. Sit.
You'll wait till the darn thing says 12:30.
Hey, they say they do that in airports.
Oh, do they?
I heard a guy say that there was nobody left to board except for me, and I could board at 12:28. They mimicked it in a movie, making fun of
what you're talking about.
Meet the Parents, but they said that really happened. You waited till 12:28.
You stand there looking around the room like this.
Somebody told me that was true.
There's nobody else here. Can I get on?
Yeah.
She just stands there and just keeps looking around the room.
Yeah. They said that's absolutely true.
Those times are, if they get done at 12:20, we'll bring on Sand Rock. They go on for 20 minutes instead of 30, then we'll have Spring Garden on.
Right. Then we have there's going to be a bathroom break in there.
We may take a break and we'll go get something to drink or whatever, But we want the kids to have a good time, and that's what this is for. It's for them. Jeff Allen will be there. John Holder will be there. Jim Jacobs is going to be there. Bo Starkey's going to be there.
Yeah.
All the media, Shannon and Roy will be there, your local people. So everybody that covers sports in mostly all of North Alabama is pretty much for the most part going to be there.
Well, I guess I got to give you credit for this. I will just say this about media days. I've never seen it get drug out real bad. No. If it's 12-2, I mean, it may be 12 to 2:30, but it's never been one of them deals where we're an hour behind.
No. I mean, I tried to. Yeah. I got my phone sitting there, and I keep a timer. Okay, and then it's important that our media people know that keep it to one question. Mm-hmm. Don't ask 2 questions because somebody else may ask the question that you're going to
there. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're going to have a lot of people there this year.
Yeah.
And the coach may answer your question before you ask it in other line of thought, in his thought of what he's going to talk about. Yeah. So everybody asks a question and, you
got to have about 10 questions set up.
Now, the first year or 2 we did it, we was talking about movies and their favorite songs, and because we were trying to fill time.
Yeah,
it was just me and you and Shannon.
Gotten easier.
Now Jeff Allen's there.
Yeah, you got 7 people there.
John Holder's there.
Or 9.
Bo's he's usually going to ask a question.
Oh yeah, he always asks one. Shannon asked one. Roy.
Yeah, and Jim's going to be there too this year. Jacobs from F&N.
Trying to think this
because he does a magazine.
7 people asking questions.
He does a magazine, and it's really good, y'all. F&N, you ever seen their high school magazine?
Yes, it's good.
It's really good. He spends some money on that. He has some sponsors that help, and I think John does too. John Holder does a magazine, high school football.
Yeah, I like a F&N magazine. I hadn't seen one in a while, but I do like them.
Yeah. So high school football, Alabama, him and Coach Short. John's going to be there. I think Coach Short's going to be at another. So that's going to be Saturday. Y'all come hang out just to have a burger. And
we always get there a little early and eat.
Yeah, I always want to eat first, and then that way I can go to the show.
All right, we're going to move on to Georgia Bulldogs.
We talked about too much. We've been on an hour.
All right, well, we're all right. All right, Georgia Bulldogs finished 13-1 last year. The only loss was to Alabama, 27-24 in the national SEC championship game, not the national championship game. All right, returning starters offensively, 10. All right, they returned quarterback Carson Beck, 3,700 yards. They did not have their running back, but they had a starter transfer over from Florida, Trevor Etienne, 2 700-yard rushing seasons. Wideouts, Dominique Lovett, 54 catches, 600 yards. Colby Young coming from Miami. He's going to be – they're excited about him. Colby Young, 47 catches, 563 yards. Ra Thomas, 23 catches, 383 yards, will be one of the receivers. And the one they're so excited about.
I like him, Thomas.
Yeah, but Dylan Bell is the one because he can run the ball too.
The ATN's the guy.
ATN's the guy. But Dylan Bell, 29 catches, 355 yards. He also plays that running back. He's kind of a do-it-all. All right, linemen. They've got – I'm just going over the starters. Ernest Green has 14 career starts. Dylan Fairchild, 10 career starts. Tate Ratledge, he's been a 2-year starter. These are the guards and tackles. Do not know who their center is going to be. Xavier Truss, 2-year starter. All right, guys, that's 10. That's their whole line. Everybody except for their center has started a bunch of ball games. But Delp is not a regular starter. And let me rephrase that. But when Bowers was out last year, he filled in for him, Oscar Delp.
I think he's good. I like him.
He is very good. He caught 24 passes last year. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5 guys.
He's not Brock.
No, but he's not bad.
No.
You got 5 guys here that's caught 23 passes. Of course, all of them will rotate in. Defensively, some guys coming back for the Bulldogs are, I love this name, Small Mondin, middle linebacker, 144 tackles in the last 2 years. Man, I'm not trying to knock Georgia at all, but these stats just sound – I didn't do stats. I always do stats on these players, but I did not for Georgia because they just don't sound right. All right, for instance, Nazi Stackhouse started at nose guard last year.
Jerry's boy.
Yeah, 33 tackles. All right, that's not many tackles. Defensive end Michael Williams started 13 games last year. 18 tackles. What? 18?
He started how many games?
13. Linebacker Chaz Chambliss, 14 starts. 20 tackles from linebacker?
Yeah, you think there'd be like 60.
I don't understand the numbers.
Or maybe 50 tackles.
Well, maybe Kirby's tough on tackles.
He's Coach Mack.
I mean, you get a tackle. You get a half a tackle. But, okay, but starters coming back on defense is Nazi Stackhouse, nose guard. Defensive end Michael Williams. Started 9 games last year. Linebacker Chaz Chambliss. Small Mondin. He's got the best numbers. And the best one, All-American preseason, Malachi Starks, who, along with Caleb Downs, was considered
top All-Americans,
the top 2 safeties in the country. 52 tackles, 3 interceptions. So great offensively. But they got some. I don't want to say they got holes defensively because they just reload, but they don't have as much experience defensively. And Dylan Everett, their cornerback, is a returning starter. So defensively, they got 1, 2, 3, 6 starters back, but 10 on offense. And Beck, 3,700 yards, got all of his receivers back, but he did lose his top 2. He lost Bowers, and he lost McConkey. And Delp's good, but he's not as good as Bowers. Young from Miami's good. Love it. ATN, are you a big ATN fan?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll tell you this. We'll put our schedule up here.
Oh, God. That's the tough part.
And I'm going to say this. I'll give you already synapse of what I'm going to tell you about Alabama.
Yeah.
Georgia better run the ball this year.
Yeah.
They better get something figured out to run the football.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got, and he can catch the ball too. You taking that off? I'm taking mine off too.
Yeah, it's hot.
ATN can catch the ball out of the backfield, but they don't have the depth they've been having at running back. Georgia does not, unless somebody comes on, which it very well could happen. Yeah. But they don't seem to have that type of depth. They don't seem to be as.
Who's their other running back rooms?
The one I read, the top 2 is ATN and Bale.
Well, Bale's good.
And Dylan Bale. Didn't talk a lot about a lot of other guys. Now, Birds talked about some other guys on here that they were excited about, but the stuff I read, they didn't show a lot of excitement about anybody else except them two. And they said Bell would be used to throw and run.
Well, if Georgia thinks they're just going to go out here and
they're not just going to throw the ball all over the field,
and they're just going to go score, 46 on everybody and go scorched earth. Well, they do have Alabama on the schedule this year, and Alabama's defense is not going to be bad. They're going to be young in some spots, but they're good. But they are going to be young. And Missouri and let's pull their schedule up here.
Well, I will say this. I do not think Georgia, and Georgia's, what have they hung their hat on the last 3 years? Great what? Defense, right?
Well, that's Kirby. That's just his. That's why I don't worry about it, because I know Kirby's going to figure it out.
I don't think this defense is great.
It's not as good as he's had.
No. Now,
not.
Georgia fans may argue me and say you're stupid.
Well, that's everybody's got opinions like belly buttons. They can argue till the cows come in, but
I don't think so.
What we see is just what you see. Just what
they don't
you
have
see.
N'Kobe Dean out here.
Well,
but Starks is special.
We've seen it decline from that first title, which they kind of won. We were like, I don't,
they don't have the D lineman.
The first title, for me, was a little more surprising.
Yeah.
The second one was not.
No.
We thought that group was going to be great. We just didn't know they'd be great that soon.
Mm-hmm.
And they wound up winning. They stumbled around into it because the East is not real good. Because Florida and Tennessee's coming.
Yeah.
Tennessee's coming. They're getting better. And Georgia can't help who they play.
No, you can't help who you play. Well, they got it.
But they won the title game, so obviously they're good enough to. Well, no matter how easy the schedule is, you still got to.
You got to win those two games.
You got to win national playoff and national title, and they did both of them.
And they won the SEC championship too.
So.
No, they did not win the SEC championship.
No. So I'm going to say.
But they come back and beat the team that beat them in the SEC championship. I just don't think the defense is good. I do think the offense is fantastic. But, man, you were going over the schedule. When you see this schedule, I just don't think this is as good a Georgia team as we saw the last 3 years maybe. They may be as good as they were last year, but I don't think this is a national championship team. I'm sorry. I don't.
Okay. 11 o'clock, ABC, Georgia Bulldogs will tie up in the Benzo Dome with Clemson Tigers, the Fighting Sweeneys.
See, that won't be in where are they playing at?
Atlanta, Benzo Dome.
Okay. I did not think that was at Clemson. Okay. Neutral.
Yeah, I'll give them. I'll give Georgia a win.
I think they win that.
And then they have Tennessee Tech at 1. SEC Network win. Then they go to Kentucky, 6:30 on ABC. I'm gonna say good test. I'm gonna say they win, but don't
Well,
I'm gonna say Kentucky plays with them for a while.
Or they go to Kentucky and then they turn around and go to Alabama.
They got an off week.
I think.
Okay. September the 14th at Kentucky. We're gonna give them a win there. They're gonna be off the 21st, and then they go to Alabama, 6:30. In Tuscaloosa. It's going to be at night. Game day is going to be there, ABC. Tuned in on your dials. Now we're going to slow it down here because these next 4 games, they're going to lose 2 of these.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think they lose. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
That next game's at Alabama. Coming off a bye week. I think they're ready. I think playing Clemson gives them some adjustment. Tennessee Tech gives their second-team guys some playing time. And then at Kentucky, they've played it.
I think Kentucky will play them good.
But
I think Georgia will hold on.
Kentucky will play them a good game and give them – try to think about it as a coach and what you're seeing. Like if you're coaching at Georgia and when you go through those first 3, what are you feeling? And
I'm all right now, but I do not you got the week off before you play.
What are we learning about our team right now? What are we learning about Georgia? Clemson, Tennessee Tech, and at Kentucky. Well, they're probably undefeated. They're going to go into off week, and it's going to be middle of September, so it's going to be they'll probably take some time off. They go home for a little bit. Weather's probably still going to be nice. Then we're going to come back to practice on the first of the week around probably the 24th, 23rd, and we're going to get ready for Bama.
Yeah.
You're going to have to get in the bus and drive to Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
So what happens now? Here's a coach. You're at Alabama, 6:30 ABC.
I mean, they could get beat easily. You know that. I mean, I'll have to see them play more before I could make a definite call on it. By that time, they'll both have 3 games under their belt. I will say I don't think that's going to happen. 31-0 in the halftime.
No.
But look how young he looks right there. But that's a toss up. That's a head knocking ball game right there.
Does Bama stand a good chance because
I think
it's
they
at
stand a great chance.
Now this is how I do it, and
Great chance.
Tell me how you like to do. How do you? Okay, I pick this. Who's at home and who's the better quarterback?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's at Bama, and Milroe obviously has already beaten Beck once.
Yeah.
Beck throws the better over the middle pass, but
Alabama's got a good D line too. Very good.
Yeah,
and they got good linebackers too.
I'm fixing to tell you about some of them. Mm-hmm. And that 4-2-5 and how they're going to play that style of defense is.
And their 2 linebackers are good too. Campbell
and
Lawson.
And
Lawson.
And Alexander and another guy.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Alexander coming in. What, ain't Lawson one of their linebackers?
But, yeah. But I'm going to tell you.
All right. With that.
What do you base this on? All you can base it on is what we've seen last year. And Georgia offensive line just got pushed around.
Yeah, but they're all back.
But that 4-2-5 is a way. It's a better defense that allows you. It's easier to check in and out. You can change into a 3-4 with that.
Right.
That's why a lot of coaches run it, because it's better defense for on the fly. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to sub players as much.
Right.
You can check in and out of it.
Yeah, I like it. I mean,
you like Georgia beat Bama in this game?
Oh, I don't know. I think it could go either way. I can't pick it yet. I think they lose one of those 2.
They're losing 2 of those 4 games.
Yeah, I'll go with that. You talking about Bama, Auburn, Mississippi State, Texas?
So I'm going to say at Bama, I'm going home team. Bama beats Georgia. All right, now they're going to play Auburn for homecoming. I think Georgia is going to be too much for Auburn, talent-wise. I think Auburn's going to play them good. But 7 o'clock game at Athens, give me Georgia.
Yeah.
Mississippi State.
I don't think
they're just not ready, man.
No,
they just don't have the Jimmys and Joes. At Texas,
man, I'm gonna give them an L on that, straight up.
7 o'clock. Don't know where in a station yet.
Now I'll go on to say this. I think Georgia loses 2, and I think they lose to Alabama, Ole Miss, or Tennessee. I don't know which one yet. One of them, but I think Texas is a loss. I think that's an L.
Sark's offense is just uncanny.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Bama, and it could be. I think
so. We'll do it again. Here's my old scenario.
Mm-hmm.
How do I pick games? Who's the quarterback and where are they at?
Mm-hmm.
I think the better quarterback's at home.
Yeah.
I mean, Ewers is supposed to come out. I mean, he's supposed to be better than Beck. I get some people have him 1B or 1A. Some people's got Beck over Ewers. Some people have Ewers over Beck. So it's close. So I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to say Texas. I'm going to say Texas gets them.
But I told you where I think the second loss will come from.
Now they're going to be off the 22nd of October, Dean, and then they're going to go on a 5-run skip from November the 2nd to November the 29th. Are they going to win all that 5?
No.
They're going to lose one of those 5.
Well, they could. They could. Like I said, I don't think.
Well, after Texas are going to be off, then November 2nd they play Florida. I think that's a win.
I think they lose 2 games.
2:30 and Jacksonville. They're going to go to Ole Miss, play a late game. I think this is the game that's going to decide Lane Kiffin's his. I was going to say eulogy.
Yeah, right.
His foregone illustration of his future as a coach. He's got to win these big games.
Yeah,
and I just hadn't seen him do it. So I'm going to say Georgia goes to Ole Miss and pulls it, and they beat Ole Miss. All right, now they're going to Tennessee the 16th.
They actually got them. Tennessee comes to them.
Yeah, it's.
So I think they'll be okay.
At home, Well, what do you like about Ole Miss? I mean, November the 9th, are they going to be able to go to Ole Miss and win that one?
I think so. I think they win that. I'm toss up on Alabama. I do think I don't know. If just looking at it,
I think Georgia,
I know you're talking on both sides of your mouth. You said they're going to lose to Ole Miss, Alabama, or Tennessee, but now you're saying they're going to beat Ole Miss. Yes, I don't know how these teams are going to do right now. Right now, I think it's going to be one of them three. But just looking at it, I think they win that game.
The reason I like Bama is because it's at Bama, and two, I'm telling you, a lot of teams are going to have a hard time fooling with Milroe.
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
can't. I mean, that guy gets scrambled around. He's gone.
I mean,
He's too big and too fast. And you just said how Georgia plays. Their deep front's going to be okay, but and before you know it, Milroe will be up the field.
which Georgia's loaded, but they don't have a ton of experience at linebacker.
Who's
right
going to
now.
tackle that guy?
Yeah.
A guy
Yeah.
that played in the semifinal national championship, Heisman finalist last year, finished sixth, threw 25 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
I'd say anybody with any sense, and I'm not saying people don't. You got to give their 2 L's. I'm giving them 2 L's. I'm sorry. I don't want nobody. I don't ever want to make anybody mad, but they're getting 2 L's.
Well, I don't care if they do get mad.
No, I don't care either. And you got to say it's going to be at Alabama and Texas.
Yeah.
You got to. But I don't like picking which games. I'm just going to say Georgia's going 10-2. Guys, there's no way they are playing at Kentucky. They're playing Clemson neutral. They're playing Bama at Alabama. They're playing at Texas. And they're playing at Ole Miss. They're not winning all those ball games.
Well,
They're losing 2. I'm
So-
sorry. I got them losing 2.
I'm going to say Lane's not proved to me yet. So I'm going to say Georgia beats them. All right, November 16th, they play in Athens, play Tennessee. I think Coach Heupel tears them up, and I think that it's going to come down to maybe who gets the ball last kind of game, because I think those teams may be kind of similar.
Mm-hmm.
They may be a little spotty on defense somewhere, but Kirby's a better defensive coach than Heupel.
Mm-hmm.
And defense usually wins championships, but it don't always win battles, but it does win wars. But, UMass, that's a win. Georgia Tech, that's a win. Then SEC championship game, December 7th.
Well, Matt, I just don't.
Yeah, 10-2. I mean,
I got them 10-2. And I know we've been doing halves. There's no way Georgia loses 3 ball games. So that's why I'm not going 9.5.
I will.
But so you're going 9.5.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, there's no way they only lose 1.
Well, the holdup here.
So
for
you got
me,
9.5.
Here's the holdup. I've got to see Lane. He's never proven to me he can finish. He just can't finish. He's the guy that paints your whole house and forgets to do the shutters.
Right.
What'd you do? Like, you cut my yard grass, but you didn't weed it down the sidewalk. That's Lane.
Yeah.
He can't finish.
So I'm going to be dead wrong on Georgia. I'm going straight up 10-2. I do not think they can survive. Now, this could still get them in the top 12 easily. It could still get them in the SEC championship game. Where you're like, well, you got Texas and Ole Miss with the best records. Texas and Ole Miss are at 10.5. I got the top 4 teams in the SEC, and it could be any 4 of them: Texas, Ole Miss, Georgia, and Alabama.
Yeah.
All 4 of them, I've got at least getting 10 wins. Now, then it'll come down to tiebreakers and all that. So I don't know if it'll be Texas and Alabama or Texas and Georgia or Ole Miss and Alabama or what.
This is really a big year.
It's different this year, guys. I don't know if you can pick a champion.
Kirby, this is the time, and you can clip this out and put it on YouTube. This is the year that Kirby has got to take the reins, because they're being handed to him from the old master. Saban's gone, so most people assume that this is Kirby's league to win.
Right.
And I'm just not sold on this team.
No, I'm not 100%.
I'm just not.
I do think they're good offensively. I don't think they're going to be as good defensively. Their schedule's tough, and most of their tough games are on the road.
That on the road part is tough.
I mean, you don't go to Alabama and Texas and just, 48-7.
No.
Not with the players they've got. Maybe with the team they had 3 years ago.
You've seen the teams the past 3 years in recruiting, Bama has been 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I don't care who's coaching the team. If the guy can even tie his shoes and chew bubble gum, he ought to be able to win 9 games. With that talent, surely the goodness they can go out there on the field and stumble around. If you got a good offensive play caller, you got one of the best wide receiver coaches in the nation.
Yeah.
You got the best offensive line coach anywhere. They won the awards last year for. Surely they could stumble around and win 9 games. Bama could.
Yeah. Well, I think Bama will win.
Bobo failed at Auburn, and I'm not a Bobo fan. I know Birds. I'm sorry. I just never can be a fan of Bobo.
Right. I understand that.
I just think they're going to have trouble this year. And where Kirby's strong is maybe where he's going to be weak this year. And here's the way these coordinator jobs work out with each other. The reason Bama had so much success was because where one was strong, the other one may be weak. So it didn't matter. Mm-hmm. It always kind of balanced out. Because look at all them offensive lines, those minds that you had at Alabama. Mm-hmm. Is Bobo going to be able to balance it out? That's what I'm saying, and call good enough plays? Because here's the whole point. I don't care if you score 50, but are you going to give up 51?
Right.
What does it matter if you got a great offense? You ain't got nobody can stop nobody.
They do got a great offense. And the defense is suspect. They'll probably be good, but they're not going to be like they have been, I don't think.
I'm just saying. I
think they go 10-2, make the playoff, and could possibly go to the semifinals. Now, I don't think no, I'll go on and say it now. They're not going to win the national championship. No way.
I don't pick these next 2 teams we're doing right now to win. And these are the top 2 teams in the conference.
Now, I do think both of them can go to the Final Four.
One of them's going to be in the SEC title game. I think one of them play for the conference.
They could, yes.
One of these are going to play somebody, Ole Miss or LSU or something.
Yeah.
Some of that variation of 4.
I'll go over that now. This is just according to me and Matt's rankings. We can go over that after he does Alabama.
Well, let's see if I can fix this here. Okay. Thank y'all again for coming by and hanging out with us. Subscribe to the channel if you hadn't already. We finally went over 500. We're hitting on about 510 right now. Now we're trying to hit 1,000. Guys, we appreciate all you guys and girls for coming by and subscribing to the page. Like the channel. Run the thumbs up on this video. We do love you and appreciate you. Now it's time for the Crimson Tide. We're going to talk about their schedule. I'm going to give you a few synapses of things.
I'm excited about this.
History of some teams that they hadn't played in a while and when they played them last. And you know me, I'm always going to do some kind of history of something. And then you know me, I'm going to mention a few players that nobody's talking about.
Well, that's what I like about I'm not as good about that, but I want to see what I really don't know what Alabama's got completely all around the board.
Well, I tell you what, the old Bammers is going to be there. Oklahoma. It's their first trip to Norman since 2002. What about that?
I remember that. Brody Crowell was their quarterback.
Yes.
Now that's when Oklahoma was rolling.
Yeah. Well, I did.
Yeah. Well, we said that earlier. Yeah. Well, Stoops was there. They just won a national championship.
Beat Florida State.
Yes. Like 13-2 or something.
Yes, it was because they had a safety.
They were unbelievable on defense.
It was 13-0 the whole game nearly.
Yes.
I mean, 10-0.
It was not a good game.
No.
I mean, by today's standards.
No, that's wrong. That was 2000.
Was it 2000?
That's the Bama when I covered that last week because anyway.
All right, I'm listening.
Bama ain't played Oklahoma at Norman since 2002. Then they have played them because they played them Sugar Bowl and McCarran.
Right, but not in the regular season. Yeah,
Derrick Henry went off and Bama lost. Bama, they have not lost a game. Now these are just some history synapses. They hadn't lost to Auburn at Tuscaloosa since 2010, and that was 35-17. Mm-hmm. So that's something else in there. This is their schedule. Did you also know that Coach DeBoer, coming from Washington, they had 11 games where they only averaged 4.4 yards a game rushing average.
That's not good.
Well,
it's not bad.
I'm setting you
it's
up
not dominant.
I'm setting you up for the end. That's why I like to do. I'm going to set you up.
They're running 50, 60 times.
For something at the end there.
Yeah.
But Bama they did the same thing in 9 games last year. Now, remember Milroe was sacked 44 times.
Right. Yeah, that's average 3.5 a game, 3.5.
They were pretty close to the bottom of the barrel. Terrible.
Right.
Now, however, they're bringing just about all those guys back and replacing the one bad piece with a award winner. Brockemeyer is coming in.
Yes.
Okay. Now, the defensive back that's coming in that you want to know about from USC, transfer 4-star Domain Jackson. He was a state track champion from Maitre D. So he's probably pretty good.
Maitre D usually has pretty good talent.
He's going to have to be great. Domain Jackson. It's going to be play some D back at Alabama. Thank you.
They've got they've got the DBs from the portal, don't they?
And they got 3 5-stars too now.
Right.
The ones they got Macumba from Central last year with the long hair. He's going to be there playing.
Yeah, from Chalkville. Yeah.
One single-handedly.
Yes.
I never seen nothing like it. Never. I'm telling you, y'all got to see that game. Bama wide receiver group for 2024. The popular names that your starters are going to be, because everybody will talk about their wide receiver room. Jeremiah Burton, Caleb Odom, Kobe Prentice.
Prentice is going to be good.
The Henderson kid, Kendrick Law, look for him to do big things. He's a junior this year. And then freshman, Hollywood Ryan Williams.
I'm not trying to interrupt you at all, but this receiver room, which is what we call them now, everybody does it. Don't seem to be as strong as past. Or is it? It just depends. Does it depend on Williams? I mean, you had the guy transfer from Washington. You know, he's pretty good. But he was not one of Washington's stars. I like Prentice.
Yes.
I do like Prentice. I think he's going to have a breakout year.
I do too. I think here's my pick.
I think Prentice is going to be. You know how we like Bond, Isaiah Bond.
I like Kendrick Law. Yep, I'm high on him. I'm big on him right now.
You're big, and I think Prentice is going to be good.
Yeah. Also, Hollywood 5-star. We talked about him. Ryan Williams, 6'1", 4,000 yards total for senior year. He's not a senior because in the state game he had 350 yards, 3 touchdowns. Already graded 4.0. He's 17 years old. He's supposed to be a senior in high school right now.
Yeah.
He's going to be playing football at Alabama.
It's hard to imagine him doing good being 17 at Alabama, but he may.
This is a freshman group. These are 3 other guys. I'm going to say their names, and people's going to say, "Who are you talking about?" No, you talking about, Matt? Stupid. You just told us Kendrick Law and Prentice is going to be good. Yes, those are going to be who you're going to see Saturday catch the ball a lot.
And the guy from
and of course Fairland. Yeah. And but yeah, Jermaine, the Burden kid. So
yes, yeah.
But here's 3 more guys. And Amari Jefferson, kid that come from up there at Chattanooga way from Tennessee. He's Mr. Football, Tennessee.
Yeah, I saw that. I've heard a lot about it. Played at Baylor.
Yeah. 4-star. He was number 211 in the nation. And your top 300 pick, Rico Scott, 4-star guy, 185-pounder. Auburn and Tennessee, Georgia tried to get him. He had 1,300 yards, 23 touchdowns the senior year. He ran a 4.42. Fast guy, played basketball. And the last one, Bubba Hampton, the 4-star kid from Texas. 3A football, Texas. He was number 220 overall nationally, 5'10", 175 track guy, ran the 100-meter 11.5. He was a co-MVP and player of the year in 3A Division II.
Wow.
Competition. He said, this is a quote from Nick Saban about Bubba Hampton, competitive dog, quote unquote, from Nick Saban. And so they got a big
freshman that could possibly make an impact.
Yeah, they may get to come into play, but now those other guys, of course, they're going to be,
right.
Law and Prentice and Burden. They're you guys.
Yeah.
But Caleb Odom was a freshman too.
Yeah.
Now linebackers, Lawson, Campbell, these are guys we all know about. Alexander,
fantastic.
Senior, Jefferson, he's a senior.
Jordan Jefferson? He's very good.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Defensive backs, we talked about this Jackson kid. And also Smith, Malachi Moore,
veteran.
Right. Moore and Smith, these 2 are seniors.
Yeah.
Okay, they're senior players. Jones also could, and then we've seen Sab play in the game.
Well,
it's good.
Michigan.
Yeah, he's good.
He'd probably start, won't he?
Yes, I think he will. I really do. I'm going to give you a list right here and tell you what positions they'll play exactly, probably.
Okay.
Second team, probably Mincy. You ever heard of Red Morgan? This guy played down here in South Alabama. King Mack, kid come from Hawaii.
I
remember
have heard of King
him?
Mack. King Mack. Good. He's a Penn State guy, right?
I think he played high school around Miami or something.
Yeah, he's good.
The Hubbard kid and Brown. So there's some guys. Now, King Mack and Sab are probably going to be your strong safeties. Okay.
So they're going to transfer portals are coming in to be
a lot of the times. Safety. Yes.
That's good. Sab and King Mack. Okay. Yes. I'd heard that they would probably both start.
Now here's some freshman kid, Keon Kelly. They've moved him to the defensive line in this spring. We don't know if the move is permanent. He's going to have some more playing time this year. I think you will see him that. Here's a quote from Coach Womack. I got a quote straight from him here. It says, when you look at Keon to see his frame and how he's developed, Womack said he's got a frame that's going to grow more into that bandit role for us here at Alabama. Redshirt freshman Keon Kelly. Keon Kelly. Yep. They had him as offensive lineman, but they're moving him around and play defense. Now, do you want to know about Bama's defensive line depth chart?
It's pretty good, isn't it?
You're going to have Latham. Okay. Probably play at the left over there. You got Overton and Kelly backing him up. And you got Tim Keenan. This is defensive
That's that guy
line.
you like.
I love Keenan, man. Such a great 6'2", 315 pounds. These guys have got under these weights now. Otis and Payne will be back behind him.
Otis again.
Tim Smith, senior.
Again.
And Overton will be behind him, Dean.
Is that one that's name's hard to pronounce back? That's a good D-line.
Yeah, well, and then the Robinson, senior.
Yeah.
Okay, played last year, 6'5", 231. He's going to be your Wolf guy that's going to play up here on the front. And also KOHT.
Yeah.
And then the Russo, RUSSOW, he's going to be back behind him on the defensive line. Now, here's some other names on defensive line. We talked about those guys, so let's don't count these guys out. Osborne and Fagay. I just told you about Keon Kelly.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the Jordan, the freshman kid. Eric Hill is going to be a name to remember. Damian Payne is a junior on this defensive line.
Pretty good defense.
And I've told you about Otis and all these guys.
They're good. I mean, they started last year. Otis Smith, Keenan.
Edric Hill, Tim Smith, James Smith, Damian Payne, Hunter Osborne, Kelly Kidd, LT Overton, Latham, Otis.
I don't know. Otis started. Otis is good. Otis and Keenan. I like them. That's good. It is. That's good news for Alabama to have their D line back, because that's where you get your pressure.
All right.
That may make a big difference.
All right, now let's talk about offensive line, because that's where the big trouble was
last year.
Probably at left tackle, more than likely you're going to see Proctor, and then at guard you're going to have Tyler Booker, and then you're going to have the Brasford kid in the middle. You have Jaden Roberts. He's a right guard, going to be a junior. Now you got Alien and then John Ionata behind him, and then the Formby kid, freshman at right tackle. The McAfee kid may probably play behind him in spring. Looks like he'll be second team, but Pritchett and will be probably left tackle, get in some reps, play some time too, and then Poe and Sanders probably be guards just going to come in. So Booker, Proctor, Brailsford, Roberts, and Formby, those are the names you're going to see for offensive line.
Booker and Proctor being the main ones.
Sure. Here's some other names. Rob Montgomery, Clausen Allen, Gino Vandermark. These are guys that just come in. Then you got two more guys that just come in. The Kohler kid, 5-star, then the Haygood kid that just come in today. Another 5-star.
Yeah.
To be added along with Casey Poe. These are some guys that just come in. The Bernard kid, I told you about the McAfee kid.
It's a pretty good O-line.
Do you think 2, 3, 4 freshmen, 5, 6, 7 freshmen, some juniors and sophomores, 8 freshmen. So the offensive line has 8 freshmen, but out of 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 players. Got 9 freshmen. Now they're good freshmen, but they're 4 or 5-star kids.
But your five starters are pretty good.
Yes. And if those
and you've got two possible All-Americans.
They don't get a bunch of people hurt.
Yeah.
I think they'll be okay.
But don't you think Proctor and Booker could be All-American type players?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. and these freshmen that just signed in to come in, I mean,
I still can't figure out why Proctor went to Iowa. But you said it, money. But
yeah, he wanted to go back up there, and he thought he was going to get a bag, and then he found out that the coach coming's not going to be bad.
Right.
Just hang out and wait.
Oh, he's good now.
Yeah, DeBoer's done a great. His staff is just.
No, I'm talking about Proctor's good.
Job. Oh, sure, yeah. Now he's come back to a system. He's played with these boys.
Yeah,
they all know each other very well. Now, wide receiver at the X, Kendrick Law, and backing him up, Henderson or Williams probably. The Bernard kid come in, Odom and Hamilton back him up at the Z position.
Yeah.
H position, Kobe Prentice, the junior at the H, Adams and Hampton behind him, and then the tight end, Dupree, senior tight end.
Yeah, I like him. I do
Lewis
like him.
And Ouzts Otts.
He always gets the tough names. Ouzts.
Who I've never seen that in my life.
Is
that?
I get the Smith and Allens.
And then Cuevas, Cuevas. Cuevas.
Wow. But Dupree's back.
So those are. I'm just telling you, there's some guys backing all these guys up, and this is a receiving group. And I just told you about some names that are not even on here: Rico Scott and Amari Jefferson. Jefferson. They didn't have him on this list.
Bernard's going to be their main.
These are guys. Amari Jefferson is buried in the depth charts, and he's a 4 or 5 star receiver. He's a 4-star guy, solid 4-star.
So who do you think
Mr. Tennessee
going to be the main? Do you think who's going to be the Burton and Bond? Is it going to be Law and Prentice and Bernard?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Definitely.
Yep.
They're going to get their shot.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, they may end up being great. They don't sound like it.
Cole Adams.
But
there's another receiver name, freshman coming in. Jared Hamilton, a freshman coming in. Of course, you know Hollywood Williams. I just told you about Bubba Hampton. Jalen Hale is another one. I told you about Henderson, Prentice, Law.
Yeah, that Emmanuel Henderson's good.
But Rico Scott, I mean, Rico's not bad, man. I think these guys he's a 4-star kid that, Georgia and Tennessee and Auburn all tried to get the kid. He run a 4.43. He had 23 touchdowns and 1,300 yards as a senior.
I'd say watch out for Henderson, too. Emmanuel, he's good.
Yeah. Really like him a lot.
Yeah.
So those are some players. And I'm just, building up that case to let you know.
Sounds like I got pretty good, especially, I'm telling you, I like the fact that their D-line. As being an Alabama fan, I like the fact that their defensive line's back. I mean, that's hard to beat.
Well, sure.
I mean, people give anything to have a good D-line.
Here's the keys to their success for next year, and we're going to pull their schedule up.
Yeah, let's see this schedule.
2023 rushing touchdowns, 32 for Alabama, 15 allowed for their opponents.
Mm-hmm.
Third quarter scoring, Alabama 120, opponent 51.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth down conversions, Alabama 5 for 7 at 71%. Opponents 11 for 27, 41%.
It's pretty good.
I'm just trying to make the case. Now, y'all can pick however you want to, and you can pick Alabama to lose.
Well, I like Alabama's front 7. I'm not going to lie.
People can just go on here and say, they'd be lucky to win 8. Okay, I just laid out the case. I told you every player on the offensive, defensive line. I told you a few D-backs. You know their running back room. We know Justice Hayes. We know Jam Miller and the other kid. Mm-hmm. We know what they got.
Haynes, yeah. Jam Miller.
And Miller. And who's the other kid behind them? Young or
I can't remember.
Smith?
I don't. I mean, I just know them two.
Yeah.
I know that, but you have talked about another one.
The other one I talked about, he's good too.
Yeah. And he's just not as good as them.
If this Ackland Deer kid comes this week, I don't know. I mean, the pressure's going to be, the pressure's mounting more because the better class that he has, they're going to expect him to win it. Mm-hmm. Well, you recruit like Saban, you get all these 5-stars. By God, he better win it. We fire him, run him off.
Yeah.
I mustard on my biscuit. I mean, so I just told you this about Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama Alabama,
Snots.
get down, Snots. Alabama has got to win in the running game. They've got.
I think they got a good running game.
The ball.
They got 3 good backs. I'm counting Milrow too.
Offensive line can't be trash.
No.
They've got to step up.
Well, see, we don't know a whole lot about the other 3. We know Booker and Proctor's good, and I'm assuming the other 3 will be fine. But they lost some good linemen. I mean, they struggled last year. They struggled at times. You know that. I didn't think they struggled late, but they did early.
We'll go through the schedule.
All right.
Western Kentucky, 6 o'clock ESPN, win.
Yes.
UCF Buffs at Tuscaloosa, 6 o'clock ESPN, win. We'll say they win that big. At Wisconsin, Fox Nation, big noon game, 11 o'clock on Fox at Wisconsin.
I think they'll be all right. I do think that's a good test for them. I think they win.
It'd be a good game going on the road.
Yes.
I'm going to say they win by 2 touchdowns.
You go up there and you play around and you have some turnovers, you come home beat.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good test.
Yeah. Like Georgia going to Kentucky.
Yes.
It's a good something going. Yeah. And they got an off week, just like Georgia. Now, they both coming off an off week. And Georgia's coming home. Now, remember how we like to do schedules. We'll see who are they playing that week before. So we know Georgia and Bama both are off that week. Georgia's going to be at Kentucky. Bama's going to be at Wisconsin. Now, they come back to meet each other at Tuscaloosa. I've already picked Bama to win that game.
I don't know yet, but I would say early on that Bama's going to be picked in the spread.
I think so, too.
And it'd be close.
Yeah, it'd be picked by 2 or 2.5.
So I could see Alabama winning that game for sure. I could see that going either way. I don't know yet about – we'll have to see how they play those first 3.
4:30, shoot.
But, yes, they can definitely – Alabama can be undefeated after this.
They're going to make a trip to First Bank Stadium, Nashville, Tennessee, to play the Vanderbilt Commodores.
I think they'll be all right.
3:30 on – we don't know yet. Look for that to be tight down to close to the fourth quarter. Just kidding. Okay, South Carolina. Now, they're going to get this game at Tuscaloosa, 11 o'clock, ABC and ESPN. So this is going to be
I think that's a catch game.
An even day. They're going to come off of probably a win over Georgia. They go rinky-dink, flop around at Nashville. They're probably going to get out and celebrate a little bit because they beat Georgia again for like the 30th time. And they're going to beat Vanderbilt. And you're right. Then you got to get up early the next weekend.
Yeah.
And play a Gamecock team that's going to come in here about half fired up. Let's see
it's not terrible.
Let's see who they play the week
before.
They
got a tough schedule.
Who they play the week before, Dean? Oh, they're going to have Ole Miss.
That may not. I'm just saying that could be a catch game. Because you're looking forward to Tennessee. Look, you're already looking ahead.
You're right.
You got Tennessee coming up. You got South Carolina early at home. Alabama don't play well early, do they?
No.
South Carolina's not going to be bad. This quarterback comes in and runs all over them.
Yeah. Look, Bama gets behind. They get their head up their butt and have a turnover, too. Milrow throws a pick.
They're trying because he's having to throw deep.
Yeah, or Hayes fumbles the ball, and then South Carolina just to scoop and score. And then they're up 14-0 because they've already scored. They kick Bama the ball, and then they fumble, and it's 14-0 in the first quarter. People are like, well, this is it. DeBoer's fired. He's going to lose to South Carolina.
Interim coach. We need an interim coach.
But I'm telling you, Saban had the same kind of thing happen. That first year, they lost games they probably shouldn't have lost. So first year jitters, it's going to happen. All right, so we'll say they beat South Carolina. They come in, they struggle a little bit. Now they're going to have to go to Knoxville.
Man, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and pick Bama over Georgia, but I'm going to pick them to lose this game.
They're losing to Old Heupel-Land.
This is my early. It may change, but right now I'd say yeah.
Well, let's see. Better quarterback. I'm going to side with Milrow. At home, I'm going to side with Tennessee. Tennessee's beat Alabama home one time in the past 3 generations. Since my great-great-great-great-grandpappy.
That place is going to be rocking.
Oh, my God, it'd be wild.
Especially after they beat them there 2 years ago.
I like to be on the sideline of that game.
I just think it's a lot to overcome.
We could be standing this close and have to scream at each other and we'd never be able to hear each other.
Yeah, they could lose that game. They could definitely
Alabama could possibly lose that game very highly. DeBoer has coached a lot of big games. He has been in Austin Stadium and beat the Ducks twice, and he played for a national championship. And it's not like he's never played in a loud crowd. But you never played in the third Saturday in October.
Right.
Bro, it's going to be crazy. We'll say Tennessee wins. Let's give Tennessee. Okay. Logan.
Yeah. Hey, Logan. We're picking Tennessee. National champs. No, I'm kidding.
Winning it all. All right, they're going to go to Missouri.
I don't think they'll win it all. They got to go to Missouri right after that?
No, they get Missouri.
They get Missouri at home. Who's another good team.
They're going to be probably top 10. Now, who does Missouri play that week before they play Alabama? They will be at home for Auburn, which is going to be a test. Auburn's going to go out there and fire their head up. I don't think Auburn beats them because it's going to be a 12 o'clock game.
That's tough. Missouri, Tennessee, South Carolina, back to back to back. I think they lose one of those. I mean, I could see them losing. I hope they don't lose.
I'm going to go with the home team again. I got Tennessee beating them, so I'm going to side with Bama. They're going to be excited to get to an off week and get their wounds licked and healed up because they're going to have a 7 o'clock game and at Louisiana at Tiger Stadium, Death Valley. Now, I just said DeBoer's been in some big. Let's don't act like he's never coached a football game. And there's some people out there trying to give. He ain't nothing. Just a little juiced up. Harson's all he's done. No, this man's just recruited #1 recruiting class. Yeah. He's played for national champion. Harsin ain't done crap. Just stop comparing that.
No,
that's just fans being silly.
Yeah,
just don't do that.
Yeah.
So what do they do at LSU? We went through LSU, went through their record. I've been cussed.
Okay.
If he could have got through the computer, he would have spit on me. I've argued with LSU fans. LSU and Oklahoma.
They think they're going to be good?
LSU and Oklahoma fans are fired up.
Over what?
They're just ready to win it all.
I mean, yeah.
Oklahoma thinks they're going to come in and probably play for the conference championship, and LSU fans, this Matt guy that I brought up before last week's got this podcast. He's got their fans slathering at the jaw. They got slobbering hogs, slobbering tigers. Because
they're ready to go.
Well, because they listen to this idiot, and he played football there, and his podcasts are titled like Bama's burning down. They'll be lucky to win 7, and they listen to him, and they think he's real. He's being a clown. He's just trying to get clicks. Stop falling for it. I'm just gonna give you stuff. I'm not trying to get clicks. Mm-hmm. We could do shock stuff. We could come on here, and I could come on here right now.
Vandy wins it all.
Pick Oklahoma to win it, and make a shock video, and I could put a big thumbnail on it on my face.
Texas A&M wins.
Yes, I could do this. I could do a thing and have me a thumbnail on video and have Oklahoma holding up the championship. I got Oklahoma winning it. That's called shock and all videos, and that's what these people are doing. Matt's doing that. He's doing it just to create crap. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
And it's got these fans going nuts.
I ain't buying it.
So at LSU,
I mean, definitely, I think Alabama's going to be the favorite there. I don't know what LSU. I've studied LSU. We went over them. I don't see them being as good as they were last year. I think Alabama can definitely go in there and come out with a win. But Death Valley is a different place. Sorry.
I'm gonna say they beat LSU. The next week they have Mercer. November 23rd they go to Oklahoma, which I said earlier they hadn't played since 2002.
That could be a catch game right before Auburn. Could it be? Sure. I think they'll be fine against Auburn this year because it's at home. If it's in Auburn, I don't know. Could Oklahoma upset them?
Two kind of new coaches to their.
Well, it's right before Auburn. I mean, and it's just natural to look ahead a little bit. Natural, but you can't. You can't. And you got to go out there. I mean, I know we're sitting here. I don't think Oklahoma's nowhere near as good as Alabama, but that's just, I don't like that matchup when it is.
And look ones they got the week before Alabama.
Nobody.
Yeah, they're off.
Nobody. Yeah. And I don't think Oklahoma will win the conference. Oklahoma doesn't have a bunch of 27-year-old guys playing for them that hadn't played college football in 8 years. They got studs.
I know I just told you that I got Alabama beating Georgia and LSU. Matt, why could you say that they're going to beat them too, but they're going to lose to Oklahoma?
Because we think they're going to lose 2 games.
Well, because Oklahoma's coming off of a bye week.
Yeah.
And at the end of the season and the games that they just played the week before and then off, and then the Missouri game, they do have Missouri at home.
Mm-hmm.
You do get tired at some point.
I think they're right.
It's a high chance. A high likely chance that Bama loses one of these next two games.
I would agree.
And it could be they could beat Oklahoma and lose to Auburn.
Yeah.
Now, talent-wise, you would say, well, Bama outweighs both of these teams in talent.
Mm-hmm.
And the coaches are all about in their first or second year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to matter where it's at and who the quarterbacks are. Is Milroe better than Jackson Arnold or Peyton? Well, he's definitely better than Peyton.
Yes.
Peyton's a 3-star garbage. And Freeze is just hoping he can manage the game and hand it off and run it some just to keep them in games. To hand it off to Hunter and Cobb.
Not yet. Not. I taught a kid named Hunter Cobb. I did.
Yeah, I seen.
You know old Hunter, don't you?
I seen my day.
I keep forgetting about Cobb. I couldn't think of his last name, Jeremiah.
So Bama's going to lose one of these. It's because of where it's at in the year.
Yeah.
And Harsin has never. Here's one thing Harson's never done. Harsin has never coached in a rival game that equals the magnitude of the Iron Bowl.
Right.
Yeah. I don't care where he's from in North Dakota. Those Sioux Falls teams, they have rival games too.
No, they do, but it's not the same.
No, it's not the same at all.
No.
Bama's going to lose one of those, Oklahoma or Auburn.
Or I think, and I'm throwing South Carolina, Missouri in there too. I think their schedule's tough. Here's what I think will happen with Bama, and I know this is vague. I think Georgia or Tennessee, not both of them, one of them will beat them, and I think Alabama gets upset by somebody. I think they still make the playoffs, though.
I'm going to say that they're a great shot for 10-2.
I've got them going 10-2.
But if they go 9-3, I'm not going to come in here and just blow the camera off and scream and yell.
Do you think there's any chance they go 11-1? Do you have them at 10.5, 10, or 9.5? What would you have them at?
Same as Georgia's, 9.5.
Okay.
I'm going to be fair.
Okay. I think I'm going to change my Georgia to 9.5 because their schedule's too tough. 10. We can't go 10. We got to go 9. We can't go whole number.
Here's the last thing, and we'll close this show up. Can DeBoer coach in the SEC?
We don't know. That's why I got them going 9.5.
All these are guesses. We can guess every stinking coach we've just predicted because this is the last show for the college football schedules. And y'all can go back through the last 6 weeks. We've done every team over the past 8 weeks, 9 weeks. We've done 16 teams.
16. Yeah.
All of them except for Vanderbilt.
We didn't do Vandy.
Vandy's going to win too. There's your prediction. Harsin is not – he's not the version of Harsin. So I don't want to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
He's a better coach than Harsin. He's proven he's a recruiter. We know he's a winner.
Right.
I don't know because we don't have any evidence. I'm a science guy. In any type of theory, you have to have what? You got to do.
Right.
You have a sample size to base it off of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
What
would we base off for DeBoer?
That's why I can't pick him to go 11-1. We don't even know if he can coach. We think he can.
Yeah.
But we don't know that he can coach this schedule.
You start getting these guys running up down the football field.
Mm-hmm.
He's never.
I didn't mean we don't know if he can coach this big time ball. It's a tough schedule.
He did go to Washington. He has won everywhere he's been, and he did turn a 4-8 team into a playoff team nearly, and then went to the title the next year.
Went to the title, yeah.
Never with a recruiting class better than 28. Now he's got the number 1 class.
Yeah.
And number 2 from last year that's still
and
there.
He's got the coaches with him.
And he's got Malachi Moore.
Yeah.
Defensive leader. And you got your quarterback back. And they're running.
Who is going to be a Heisman candidate.
If Milroe is not in New York in the season, I will send Logan $5 on Venmo.
$5 Venmo.
Yeah.
Come hang out with us, Logan.
When he sees that closing speed, and I'll probably say this again, when he sees how different it is, it's not.
It's different. Yeah.
But he's seen that speed at Oregon.
Yeah.
As an offensive coach.
And they beat him barely.
Twice.
Yeah. It was close, though. You're going to have to play. You got a game like that. You had 2 tough games like that, at least. You got 5 like that this year.
He didn't buckle under the pressure.
No.
He succeeded.
Of course, they beat some good teams. You know, Washington beat Oregon State. They beat Washington State. And I know people are laughing at me for saying that. Those teams weren't bad. They beat Utah.
The Big 12 was just the best it
The
had
Pac-12
been.
was good last year.
It was good last year. The year before, pretty good.
I thought it was good. Yes. I best did have been in long since USC was so strong to me.
Or Oregon when they was Chip Kelly was running the deal out there then.
Right.
Or even Mike Leach was winning some games at Washington State.
Yeah, that was a good because Arizona come on and was real good.
So
and Colorado took it on the chin in that Pac-12. They had a tough time in that Pac-12.
We got Georgia and Bama. I'm just picking the home team in that game because it's the home team.
I could see Alabama winning that definitely. I don't see Georgia coming in there and just stumping their skull.
I just don't think they're going to be that good. I don't think they're the team that they was 2 years ago.
Well, Matt, here, let me go over this right quick before we get off here. This is me and Matt's predictions. Our top 4, not in any order, are Texas, Ole Miss, Georgia, and Bama. Any of those 4 could win the.
And LSU, if they was to do Ole Miss, they could.
Right.
Because Texas, too. I mean, their schedule's not hard.
It's not bad. We had Texas, Ole Miss doing so well.
Because their schedule's not bad.
We're not necessarily saying they're better than Alabama and Georgia. Their schedule's not bad.
They don't play each other.
No.
Not until the ACC title. What if that's the title game, Texas and Ole Miss?
Could be.
Oregon may play Ohio State for national championship.
I know.
I'm telling you.
5th place team, Tennessee. Me and Matt was high on Kentucky. They're 6th. LSU 7th.
Yeah. You can put Oklahoma in there in the middle somewhere.
Missouri 8. We got Auburn doing good. 9. Then you got Oklahoma.
Yep. Missouri,
Florida, South Carolina.
Missouri
right there in the
is
middle.
the leading.
We got A&M in the middle too, or lower middle.
I think Missouri leads the middle, and Missouri leads the middle, and Auburn is right there following in line.
Mm-hmm. And the bottom 4 was. Or 3 was Arkansas,
Mississippi State
and Vandy. Florida, because their schedule's so bad. Not necessarily because of their team.
Alabama should have a field day on Tennessee secondary, and it's on.
I got to be honest, guys. I'm not crazy about Alabama's receiving core. But they may show me something.
This is Kalen DeBoer right here. Kalen the boss.
He's talking to us.
Yeah, Alabama should have a field day. He said, we're going to have a field day up at Tennessee on,
Coach,
on that secondary. Well, I mean, yeah, he's just telling the truth. Harsin, yeah, he could not recruit Keith. You're right. That's what's put Auburn in the basket. That's why it's going to be hard for them to win. If you can't win games, then it's hard to get kids to come play there because they want to go play for teams that are winning.
Well, let me read something else to you.
We both like
and
Georgia,
I know
Bama.
we're fixing. We do like Georgia, Bama, Tennessee.
They're going to win
Miss
9 or 10.
Yes, and
Ole Miss,
do. I do think they can win 11.
Ole Miss 10 or 11.
Yeah, Texas 10 or 11. I'll be honest with you. As of today, do you know who I think is going to win the SEC? I'm just being serious.
Ole Miss.
I think Texas is going to.
Well, their schedule's
just not bad.
And if you can stay healthy, that's huge.
I gotta be honest though, Matt. I don't think things change. You know that. Change. It's just July. I don't see the SEC. I don't think the SEC will win a championship.
Well,
I do think these 4. I think those 4 will be in the playoff. I think Tennessee will be outside looking in. I don't think they'll be 1 to 12. Everybody's saying 5 or 6 teams is going to be in that playoff. No, it's going to be those 4. Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas.
Oregon, Ohio State will eventually have to cancel each other out somewhere.
Yeah. I'd say
Michigan's lost so much.
Arizona may be in this stinking thing.
Who else could come in there and maybe, play into some of this? Any other teams? Because we're going next week. We're doing high school stuff.
I think maybe Florida State again, Clemson.
I think Clemson's not a
Utah
bad pick.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't think that's one. I brought him up a few weeks ago, I don't think mentioning Clemson to get into this playoff is a bad thought. Let's talk about ACC. I mean, who's going to win that?
I would think right now maybe Miami, Virginia Tech. You said Virginia Tech was going to be good.
That video I did for VTech, it's got nearly 2,000 views on it. A lot of people are they're smelling what I'm stepping in.
Yeah. Utah's going to be good now. We had them ranked high.
VTech may play
Notre Dame's going to be good.
Clemson, and I think Virginia Tech, I went through their schedule that day, and their schedule's not terrible. It's kind of like Ole Miss. It's like, well, they got a game or two, but boy, they may be able to walk through this thing and only meet Clemson for a title game.
Right. Clemson's schedule's not terrible.
No, to beat Virginia Tech's.
Yeah.
Their only hard one may be just to play Clemson I don't think they play them during the year.
Oklahoma State's going to be good.
Yeah.
Kansas State's going to be good. What'd you say? Oklahoma? Iowa. Don't Iowa have a ridiculous amount of starters back?
People are stupid high on Kansas State.
Or is it Oklahoma State you said had the most starters back in the country?
Virginia Tech. 22.
Everybody. And
Okie State 21. Iowa 19. Iowa State 19. Nebraska 19.
God, you got to take that into account.
Baylor, Nebraska and Baylor 19 players back.
I could do a top 25 right now.
Well, I mean, listen.
And that Dylan Edwards went to K-State.
You could break down. You could do the top. Listen, here's the top 10, and it's not going to turn out this way, but I bet money right now. Somebody write this down.
Penn State's going to be all right.
Write this down right now. Here's the top 12. I bet money that 6 of these 12 will be in the top 12. 6 of these 12 I'm going to mention will be in the top 12.
In the playoff.
Yep.
Or in the first season poll.
1, 2, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, all right. 15. All right, top 15. We'll start down here from the bottom.
Okay, I'm looking here. I'm putting this down.
Well, guess who's getting 15 back? We'll just start with people getting 15 back.
Okay.
Is 15 a good number to get back?
Yeah. Anything over, I would think 14 or 13.
Okay. All right, well.
I'd say anything above 12 is good.
Okay, well, in that scenario,
you're getting half
15 players back. West Virginia, Texas, Ole Miss, Ohio State, Florida.
Right, but Florida's schedule is horrible.
But, dude, I did Ohio State, Ole Miss, and Texas. We just picked them. They will definitely be in the playoff.
Yeah, but they got all these guys back, plus their schedule's not tough.
Ole Miss has got 8 offensive players back.
Okay.
All right.
And all those transfers in.
Florida's got 8 back on offense and 5 on defense. Penn State 16, Georgia 16, Auburn 16, Stanford 17. Now here's the middle that you don't think about. Stanford, Northwestern both have 17 back. Kentucky 17 back. Georgia Tech 17 back. Cal 17 back. Baylor 18. Now here's where we get interested. These last 5 or 6 here have 19, 20, 21 or more.
That's ridiculous. Guys, you're bringing back your whole team.
Nebraska, Iowa State, Iowa, Okie State, VTech. So out of these,
you got to look for them 3 to maybe be in the top 20 at least. Them 4.
If they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, these 5 teams right here, I'll put a little box or just around these teams, and I'll mark it right now. Right? I'm just trying to say we're nearly giving away our trade secrets of how this is how we pick these teams to win. How many kids they got coming back? Do you have your quarterback coming back? Have you got the same coach? What ranking was your defense last year? What was your turnover ratios? Yeah. And how many minutes of possession do you usually control the ball? And how does you go through their schedule and see who does your tough opponents play the week before they play you? Mm-hmm. That's all I do. That's how I pick wins.
And it worked last year. I mean, Florida State brought back 20 starters. Guess what they went last year?
I do it with
– they went 13-0.
The college basketball thing too, and I went to the finals, nearly won it.
Well, you got to go by what they got coming back.
Science is this.
So people that tell me, and somebody's going to tell me Nebraska ain't worth the crap. Guys, they've got 19 starters back, including a fantastic freshman quarterback. They're going to be better.
Everybody's back, and they got a 5-star quarterback.
Yeah, who was going to Georgia. And don't make no bones about it. Georgia wanted him.
Yeah, Dylan Ravioli.
Yeah.
It's Raiola, but I call him Ravioli. Chef Boyardee.
And
they got 7 back on defense. And Matt Rowe's a good coach.
And K-State, I don't like Iowa having not 20 starters back. And Oklahoma State, 21. Gundy's a pretty good coach. I look for them to be in that playoff.
Well, they got the tailback, Ollie Gordon.
Yeah.
Dark horse Heisman, just my opinion.
Look for Oklahoma State to be in that playoff.
And this middle of the teams has got 17 backs like Cal, Georgia Tech, Kentucky, Northwestern, Stanford. Auburn's only got 6, but Auburn's got 8 back on offense and 6 back on defense. Georgia's only got 16 back too. Same as Auburn and Georgia have the same amount back. 8 on offense and 6 on defense. Auburn and Georgia, same thing back.
Wow.
So what's the difference in the 8 and the 6? 8 on offense and 6 on defense. Well, because Georgia's 8 and 6 are a bunch of 5 stars.
Right.
And Auburn's are a bunch of 3 stars.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. They only got like 9 4 stars.
Yeah.
At Auburn. They don't. Georgia's got 15 4 stars. Penn State 16, Ole Miss 8 and 6. Same thing as Auburn and Georgia. Look at here. Ole Miss, Auburn, Georgia. Same amount back. 8 on offense, 6 on defense.
And what they don't tell you on there is Ole Miss did better than anybody in the transfer portal. Probably, did they not?
Yeah.
I mean, they dominated it. They got guys that were superstars.
If you got 8 back on offense, there's another one. Here's another team other people's been talking about. I don't see it, but some people do. West Virginia, they got 8 back on offense. No. I just don't.
I mean, they'd be better.
Colorado's got 14 back, but they don't have no line. I don't care how good Shedeur.
I think they'll be better.
I don't care how good Shedeur is. I don't care. I don't care how good, and he's going to play NFL first-round draft pick. He's going to throw. I don't care. He ain't got time to throw it. Aaron Rodgers ain't going to be – he will never be nothing if he didn't have offensive line.
I'm going to predict them to go 6-6, 7-5. We'll get into that. There's old Delp right there. Oh, is that Delp? That was a good game last year. All right.
So there's some teams to – because we're going to do a lot of high school stuff next week.
Yeah. And we've wrapped up our college. I mean, preseason.
Well, when the media day gets here for college, preseason's done. It's time to practice. Big time's going to start, and we'll do high school. We'll have our media day Saturday. Sunday, we'll come on the show and talk about the players we've interviewed, and we'll talk about some teams around the state. And then that next week, coming back,
they'll be starting practice that Monday. Yeah. Most everybody will start practice that Monday. Some of them will start next Monday.
We'll start doing we usually do like our top receivers coming back and top running backs.
You're talking about for college?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
We usually do that, milking it till we get to the end of August. Because the end of July, for 2 weeks. So we got high school next week, finished up with the best of for the next 3 weeks, and there's going to be stuff starting to go on. And
best running backs, best quarterbacks, best wideouts.
Yeah, who's going to have the better O-line in college football?
Yeah,
well, probably if you got 22 players back.
Yeah,
Virginia Tech maybe
22. How many starters you lose? 9.
I brought everybody back,
plus their backups. Come on,
and their quarterback is,
and they wasn't bad last year.
He's
good.
Man.
7-6.
He's good.
We need Virginia. I'm excited about Virginia Tech and Nebraska being good again.
I think they need to. There's those teams, man. You just want them to be good. Mm-hmm. You need Notre Dame to be good. You need Nebraska's to be good. It builds college football.
Somebody tell me yesterday they wanted. Well, it was Neil Colley out there. He's like, I wish Nebraska would be good again because I think it'd be big for college football.
It just is. Whether you like it or not, I don't like Notre Dame's a team I don't like. Now, I'm not an Auburn or Tennessee hater.
But you probably need them.
You do. You don't need Missouri to be good. You need
it's good for Missouri to be good.
But you need Nebraska to be good.
Yeah.
You need USC to be a brand. Mm-hmm. How good they gonna be?
I think they'll
you
be
see
all
Max
right.
Miller throw the football?
He's
Miller
good.
done?
Mm-hmm. You all right there, buddy? He gave him a little mohawk.
Come on, Snites.
Faux hawk.
He's got a faux hawk.
He's a good one. He's a good one. He really does good during the show.
Well, guys, we're glad we're back this week. Show 243. Come back next week, 244. And we'll get into high school football around, probably just around Alabama for sure, and in the South too.
Yeah.
I may talk to Andrew and get him to come on from down South sports.
Yeah, I don't know a lot that's coming. I do know players coming back. We know the locals for sure, but I don't know a lot. Of course, we know about Logan Anderson, Valley Head. Got a lot back. Coach Christian will be good.
Yeah, Pleasant Grove team, I told you, start the show up. They're coming to 4A. I just completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
I think I even shared where they're. So that may be not going to just be us on next week.
Yeah, no.
I mean, there'll be. Right. I'm gonna have some. We may have 2 or 3 people on with us.
They might not be here, but at least.
Yeah, no, they'll be on the screen with us, and it's going to be JB from. I got some people from Reeltown. I got some inside track at Milry this year coming.
Mm-hmm. Milry had a good team last year.
I got some inside info on Leroy.
Yeah.
I got some inside track on Jackson. Probably going to be the #1 team in the South, them or Booker T. I got some inside track. I got
Jackson, always good.
More info this year. So I'm going to know some more about some South teams too. And we're going to bring them on here, and we're going to let them tell you about their teams down there. And the people from the North can say, well, who are we going to play if we get to – people are curious about that stuff early, too. All right.
Let's go grab a bite.
Jack said it's time to go.
All right, Jack.
Keith Holcomb getting 08 vibes with this Bama team. Yes. I mean, Kellen DeBoer says Alabama should have a field day at Tennessee.
Was that really killing the board?
Yeah, we should do good up there. Is what he's saying.
We got this.
Going back to the peanut
Go on and give me that crown.
Kellen Board says Bama is one of the best running back rooms and wide receiver rooms, and the offensive lines in the country. They got some savage transfers and DBs.
They got good DB transfers, we think.
He thinks Georgia's a better team. He said Georgia winning a close one at Texas.
God,
oh boy.
Woo.
Bama smokes Georgia at home this year. Well, Kellen DeBoer said it, so I mean, I can't argue with a man.
I mean he's being kind of arrogant, but
46-0
to be the coach and be saying this stuff.
They said they're going to run it up 46 on them.
I bet you did. Okay.
All right, guys. Thank y'all for coming by and hanging out with us. Come back next week, and we'll do some high school stuff.
Yes, sir.
All right. Keep your heads clear and your hearts full of God, and pray for our nation, man. We got some psychos out there trying to shoot people. It's insane.
Well, it sounds like they're doing it now.
See y'all.